We can talk about that. Oh no, I've got to be. What's the word?
That was
Hey, how we going?
Are you on, my
Andy?
friend?
Got our good friend, the Russianator here.
Thanks for having me.
Everyone is in the house by the looks of it. How is everyone for the second episode of Rocco and Andy?
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered, like I said, raw, unfiltered,
I love it.
Unedited.
Don't you say it the way it is.
We go hard.
Way it is, man. I'm gonna go hard, man.
We go
especially on you.
hard.
You're copping it tonight. You're gonna cop it.
Our
mate.
first guest.
I'm next to the door.
First guess.
I'm next to the door.
Oh, man, you got the mic on. I'll chase you down the street, mate.
Come on, mate.
So it's been good. Welcome to everyone. We already got Chicho Dan, and we got Gorkan, and we got Peter Bobblehead, and Rocco Mortal, and Lana's on there evening. Everyone's on there. Can everyone hear us and see us okay? I hope.
I think everyone can.
I think everyone can.
I think we're good.
And that's it. So that was the first show last week. I think it was a bit of a success.
I thought it went well.
It went well.
I thought it went real well. I got some great feedback.
We got some great feedback, yeah.
Thanks to everyone who tuned in last week.
Yeah.
Hey, it was a kind of out of nowhere show.
Out of nowhere.
With not much structure.
No.
And pretty unfiltered, I think.
Yeah, unfiltered, yeah. We got into, I had some people talk to me and go, mate, you went deep, you went deep. You started talking about, all this personal stuff. And I said, that's what it's about,
That's
mate.
unfiltered, mate.
It's about maybe someone else can get something out of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
If we talk about it, you know what I mean? We got some, as I said, we got some guests coming up soon that have got some real, big stories to tell us, and, hopefully everyone gets something out of it. So, and in the chat, happy everyone. Oh, yeah, you can already see the record, yeah, Milli Vanilli, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
They're on to you, Rocco.
Mate. We'll go.
Should we just jump straight in?
You want to jump, or do you want to do the scotch first?
We have to have
a drink.
scotch. We have to have
Have a
scotch.
drink.
We have to have scotch.
Can I just say, I feel very privileged to be your first guest.
Yes, you are our first
And
guest.
maybe because it's a music angle. I don't know, but...
Well, it's a music angle, your book, and plus we got some things. Now, you don't drink, do you?
No.
All right, I'm going to do the first unfiltered question here.
Yeah, why?
Why don't you just drink? Why don't the Muslim faith...
No, I don't know. I don't know, because...
So you just do it, but why don't you do it? No, I'm seriously, so you just do it. What, because someone told you to do it? Do you drink?
No, I don't.
You've never drank?
Never drank.
Really?
I respect
But
that.
why?
For me, it's a bit different. I like to be in control,
Yeah.
personally. So, but my old man used to drink or...
And he was a Muslim?
Yeah, yeah.
So do Muslims... Sorry to go into this, but do Muslims... None of them drink?
Go straight into it.
No.
None of them drink?
No, well, I'm Christian.
No, you're
So
Christian,
I
but you
don't want to
know...
step on toes, but I've got Islamic friends.
Yeah, so have I.
yeah,
So have I.
so,
well, he's one of my
no.
closest friends now. We come out of nowhere, and this is why I like to know these questions, man. Why don't they drink? What's the reason? I love to get an Indian here, right, and say why they don't eat cows.
Well, that they tell you because they worship the cow.
Why?
Well, for whatever reason.
Yeah, but that's the question. It's got to go back somewhere, doesn't it? It's got to go
What I
back to
understand
something.
about alcohol in Islam,
Yeah.
this is what I've heard, so don't quote me on this, but I heard that you could drink before, but you couldn't get drunk.
So you could drink, but you couldn't get drunk, yeah?
And but I don't exactly know why, the exact reason
Be
why.
interesting. I wonder if it is because to keep control, maybe, you know what I mean?
Supposedly, I think they were going to the mosque drunk. It's not, they want you to be...
I reckon that could be one of the reasons then.
Could be.
We got Gorkan in the chat. He said,
Gorkan.
Rocco, it's because alcohol makes the person lose control if they get drunk. And when drunk, they can do things they can regret and is a sin.
So it is for that. It is so you don't lose control.
Well, I mean, you're also harming your body by drinking, So, yeah, I mean, it could be like both.
They reckon a glass of wine a day is healthy for you.
Mate,
You sell alcohol.
I was just about to say, mate. Like,
You sell alcohol, man.
yeah, if you ask me, alcohol's the best thing for you.
No, it's interesting, man.
You know, so
I reckon anything like in moderation is fine, man. Like seriously, like
what are we drinking tonight, Butt Rocco?
you pick.
What are we drinking?
Last week we had
We had the Hennessy last week.
But by the way, you're talking about the Muslims.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
every Muslim, like you could be born Muslim. There's a lot of, I'm sure
I'm
you know,
practicing.
a lot of Muslims that drink fucking more than you.
yeah, no, but I know that. But the thing I want to know is when you're a practicing Muslim, like a proper, you know,
Yeah.
like one that follows the
Let's
faith.
say like Bashahuli.
Yes. Why? What's the alcohol got to do with it? Let this fly in here. I can't
So,
believe
but I didn't drink because of religion. That's the point.
it. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
It's more about.
Keeping in control.
Well,
But
yeah,
by the sounds of it, that's the reason that it's not done.
Not only that, because when I first started DJing, 16 in nightclubs, I seen what it did and it turned me off. I
Yeah.
was like, nah, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, since then.
Well, I admire the fact that you haven't even like tried it. You know, like the temptation. I'm
Oh,
sure
actually, yeah.
at some
So you've
point.
never had like a glass of champagne or something?
Yeah, well, mate, it's amazing.
Well, tonight could be the
Right.
first night for it. Let's do that. So I felt
Crack open the good stuff,
Oh,
right?
we're gonna have some wine too later. Gee, we got to make sure we got the
Lanita Estate.
Lenita Estate. And where do you
Lenita
get
Estate.
this from?
So that one there's from the Yarra Valley.
No, but where can you buy it from?
Oh, the only place to buy it from.
Really?
Sorry,
Only
okay.
place?
Yeah.
Only place. 18 Devon Road, Pascoe Vale, the Bottle-O Pascoe Vale. Come in, see me, mention the potty, get 10% off. No questions asked.
That's it.
If you come in and you curse Collingwood out a bit, I might give you an extra 5%. So we don't like Collingwood here, mate. I'm not a Collingwood guy. So
Oh yes, Enzo. You forgot. Where's the cigars?
I did forget. Oh,
All right, next
no.
week. Next week we'll do the cigars.
Done. Next week.
We're having
Next
the
week.
cigars. We're gonna
We're going to have cigars here.
do- yeah, we're gonna have cigars.
Would have been nice.
Would have been awesome. But I've got a vape. I could vape and a cigar with you.
Cigars. Yeah,
Yeah, it would have been
what
nice.
What are you gonna have?
What do you
Gonna
feel like, mate?
shivers?
Yeah, well, I'm happy to have the shivers.
All right.
I'm
It's
happy to have the
brand
shivers.
new, man.
There you go. You get that open. I've got a question for you.
Yeah, talk.
How's your book going?
Yeah,
It's
let's
going well.
Yeah?
Yeah, very
show
good.
everyone the book.
I bought it. Full transparency, I haven't finished it. Loved what I've read so far. Very, very insightful. What made you write a book? I don't know if you've spoken about this before or...
Did I speak about it last time, Rock?
Yeah, we spoke briefly about it, but we haven't, like,
Thank you.
I do want to get into the book because I've read, say, a third of it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Go Rock.
Yeah, so we got it, you all the way to buy, but all...
What would you like?
Now, do you want a drink? What do you
What
want?
do you got? Show me the Schweppes. Is that bitter lemon?
Nah, just normal lemonade. Or we got soda water, or we
No, we'll
got...
go sparkling. We'll go on
Sparkling?
Yeah. No, I'll explain. I think I said it last time. I wrote it for my daughter, actually.
For your daughter? Okay.
I'll tell you the reason when I started it. When we get into it, unless you
you.
want to talk about it now, but yeah.
Yeah.
You drink?
I don't know. You guys
Cheers.
are unfiltered.
Thank you. Cheers,
We
my
are
friend.
Unfiltered. We
Is
don't-
everyone in the chat? Yeah, I mean, like writing a book, I'm happy to get straight into it, right?
Yeah, all right. Go for it.
Writing a book would be kind of daunting for me, right? Because like you're kind of
Exposing
you're
yourself.
exposing yourself, you're exposing your journey to the world, and that takes balls, it takes a lot of courage, and I applaud you 10 times over because not many people not only like don't have the balls to do it, but the actual patience to do it. I think how did you find actually having to open up about your journey?
So I'll start with how it started, the idea. I was talking to a friend, and because I do the coaching stuff and NLP stuff, and a friend of mine was saying to me, man, you got crazy stories. When I'd come back from Dubai, coming for a visit, do my 1 month or 2 months trip, I tell my friends these stories. Oh, this happened with Coldplay, or this happened with this artist. It's crazy story.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But one of my mates goes, man, you should write a story. You should write a book about this. I'm like, when I thought about it, I thought, you know what? I had a bit of time on my hands. I thought, I'm going to write this book. And I thought, the objective of it was to write something that would inspire my daughter. Initially, it was just not just, it was a book for her,
Yes.
not to release it into the marketplace. And then I met this guy. He's a professor from Melbourne, believe it or not, and he said to me, he goes, "I'll help you write it. This is we're going to structure it, come up with a title for the record and off the record, which I think is a great title."
Great title, yeah.
And the next title, so I'll give you the exclusive, is going to be off the record and for the record. Right?
What,
I'm
they're
gonna
going to do another book?
I'm going to do another one. Yeah, I'm going to do another
Okay.
one. But the other one is going to be, because I went a little bit soft on this one.
Okay.
There was a lot of stuff that I've seen that I haven't put in the book. So
Okay.
this is more like for my daughter, so I wanted to keep it, let's
Mellow.
call it PG,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The next one I might, it's going to be like closing the chapter on the music industry, and I don't give a shit if I'm going to work in
Wow.
it and again, and I've seen a lot of stuff.
So it might be called Unfiltered.
Tell you
Yeah,
what.
it could be.
Hey,
But
that's even-
I've seen some amazing
Yeah,
stuff.
I can imagine. I can
And
imagine.
we'll talk about the P Diddy thing later, but yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
We're going to get into the P. Diddy thing.
Well, if you
You
want
know
to
what's
get to
happening
the-
with the P. Diddy thing?
Wow, I think everyone's keeping up to date with it, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. It's pretty wild. Pretty
Did you, you know, with that, are you surprised?
No.
I'm not, because so I follow hip hop very closely. I have my whole life, and I've never liked Diddy.
Yeah.
Right? I've just never liked him, for music reasons.
West Coast?
West Coast till I die, mate.
No. Right.
And so for me, I've never really liked him. So when he's done stuff, I've always been a bit skeptical. And when he says stuff, I kind of double
Do you
like.
think he was a faker?
I thought, not really a faker. I mean, yeah, I thought he put on a front of this nice guy potentially, like just a businessman. But I mean, I'm a massive Tupac fan, right?
Yeah.
And Tupac had a massive beef with Diddy, with Biggie, and the whole bad boy.
Is that one reason too then?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Like,
maybe-
I didn't like him, right? And there's,
But do you
there's-
like Notorious B.I.G.?
Biggie was cool. Biggie was cool. He made good music.
Yeah, very good.
I think very, very, very like very heavy take. I think he's slightly overrated.
Oh, really?
Slightly. I think his flow is incredible. I think he's great, right? I would never put him in my like if I had a Mount Rushmore.
Well, we're going to talk about who's your favourite hip hopper. We'll
we'll get there. We'll get there.
that stuff.
That'll
We'll
be
get there.
interesting. Yeah.
But just every time I'd hear something about Diddy, I'd always be like,
But are you also, if anything like that comes out in the music industry, or even in the movies, but more so I think the music industry, are you surprised?
nothing surprises me about these people.
And that's what I mean. They live a
Yeah.
life that is so far
Yeah.
away from us, right? That this sort of thing sometimes it just seems normal to them. Like they are, if you look at some of the things that you've heard in recent years that of people that have been caught in doing things, you know, and what we're talking about. Also was it Weinstein? Who was the one that
Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey
or
Epstein.
and all that. So when you hear even about those things, you're a little bit shocked, and then you go, "I'm not surprised."
Nah.
R. Kelly, man. R. Kelly's.
Yeah, but you know what blows me away about R. Kelly? Everybody knew. So everybody knew he was,
Yeah.
seeing underage girls.
But
Yeah,
not-
Their
but no one
parents-
says anything.
Their parents, mate. There were videos of him urinating on a 15-year-old.
Yeah,
that
we
hit the
talk about that
internet.
stuff?
Like, but do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like he was pissing on
Or
a
is it
15,
something
16
we're saying
year old.
something that no one didn't know?
Like, you know what I mean? So like, hey, R. Kelly is one of the greatest artists of all time.
but it's got nothing to do with their artistry.
Yeah. Okay. So I was all right. Let's talk about this then. Is it okay to still be listening to R. Kelly's music?
That's very, very interesting. You make me put my drink down. That's very
Yeah.
interesting because Michael Jackson is one like this.
Nah, I won't cop it about MJ.
Well, you can say whatever you want, but
Found not guilty at every
Hey.
single time.
yeah, I understand, but it's still out there. It's a bit like the moon landing now, I'm saying now. Oh, all
Yeah,
this evidence
yeah,
and that, and then
that's
you're
right.
going, show me the evidence that
Yeah.
I said that with the moon line. So now you understand where I'm coming
Yeah,
from.
yeah,
where's
yeah,
that
yeah.
from.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
understand, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is, all those accusations are out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're real, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're not real.
Yeah.
Right? But does it affect his music? You still listen to his music.
Almost daily.
So can you do you could do whatever you want as long as you can sing?
No, you can't.
Where do we draw? So you wouldn't listen to R. Kelly?
So if you found out everything about Michael Jackson was true,
I try not to listen to R. Kelly.
You don't like it? So you
No, I love his
Yep.
stuff. Some of
Yep.
my favourite tracks. I love the track "Wonderful." If you know,
amazing track, Ja Rule.
with him, yeah.
Danny Chicho Dan. I always listen to Gary Glitter.
I don't know who that is.
Gary Glitter
of course, yeah.
was found, same thing, man, underage. There's a lot of people
Yeah.
who do the underage, man, and
Yeah.
there you go, mate. Same with Michael Jackson. If you find out any of that, do you still listen to his music?
See,
Do you get a bit of an out?
I would still listen to MJ because
Yeah.
probably the attachment I have to his music.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what he did,
No, but if you knew it was 100%, no. If you knew it was 100%,
It'd be weird,
but you still listen
but
to
if
it.
I heard Billie Jean, I'd tap my foot.
Yeah.
oh,
Do you know what I mean? Like that bass line. You know what I mean?
God.
Like,
This is what I'm saying.
and
like,
it's like, where do we draw the line? Like, do we not support? And then, okay, so does that mean then there's a North Melbourne footballer, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about him, Taron Thomas,
yeah.
right?
He was out in public.
Yeah, okay, so we can mention his name then.
yeah.
He was belting his missus or
Yeah.
whatever. Then does that kind of mean that he gets another chance to play? To perform in his craft. Do you know what I mean? Like, and this is where, like, for me, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because
So you think one strike you're out?
I think
everyone can change.
there was more than one strike with him though.
Yeah, all right. Look,
Right.
if you are, how do you say it, like a repeat offender. If you're a repeat offender and then like, where do you go? You go, all right, mate. Like, but if you make a mistake and then you redeem yourself and you fix it up, like, do people get a chance?
I get what you're saying. I think some things aren't a mistake. Like, I think some people are just shit people.
Yeah, I was going to
Like,
say.
do you know what I mean?
Shit bloke,
But do you-
but music. You're
yeah.
a shit bloke, but you've got great music.
Yeah, like, and I think you can make great music and still be a shit bloke.
Yeah.
Right? You can still be a half decent footballer and be a shit bloke. So, for me, I think,
But do you look back at that and say, like, why?
why what?
Why was he doing that?
Absolutely, and that's where, like,
So there could be reasons.
that's
like
where-
you're like you shouldn't be judging people. Yes, what they did. Like someone that goes to jail for
Yeah.
anything,
yeah.
right? Does he not deserve?
I think some things are unforgivable. I think there are two things that, for me,
I know what you're going to say, like
Yeah.
children and
children and like
rape.
rape. I don't know if we
Yeah,
can say
no,
it.
you can say rape.
But I don't know if we can say it on YouTube.
They're probably going to cancel
You
us.
know what
but
I mean?
You know what I mean,
Like,
of course.
yeah.
And old people,
Like-
like if you hurt an old person,
Yeah, like, again,
you're done.
you're a shit bloke. Like,
You're a
you know,
shit bloke.
You know what I mean? So, like, those two for me are like, if it was a friend who was, you know, committing those offences, gone. Like, I don't want that person in my life, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'd probably belt him as well.
Yeah.
But I think with art, it's kind of different. Like, it's like, and it probably doesn't even make sense, and it could be seen as hypocritical as well. But, like, I mean, the art is there. The art is still there. You know, like, if the art didn't have a label on it, it would still sound good. It would still look good if it was an artist. You know, the
Yeah.
movie would still be good if it was a director. So, like,
Yeah, I get you. Like, I listen to "I Believe I Can Fly" by R.
Yeah.
Kelly. I think it's a fucking amazing, one of the best tracks written. But because I know what he did,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out purposely and go, "Oh, I'm going to listen to R. Kelly."
yeah.
So for me, shit bloke.
So that correlates for you. Like, I won't go out of my way now
Yeah.
for this
If the
artist.
song's on,
Yeah.
no, listen. But I'm not going to go out there and help that guy or be a fan to
Yeah.
make that guy money. Because when you listen to that track on Spotify,
Yeah,
he's
it's
making money.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's.
So I don't want to
really-
support him.
Very
No,
interesting
and
thing.
it's a good point. I understand about supporting him. You know, I do understand about that. What does it do? The music, you know. He still make good music.
That's the conflict for me.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I know girls who still listen to Chris Brown, and he kicked the shit out of Rihanna.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, I don't know. It's a weird one to me.
Yeah.
Like, if I like the song, I'll probably still listen to it.
So when you listen to a song, do you go back and you go, oh, you know, Chris Brown bashed?
Nah.
So do you do that?
But
Is it in the back of your mind?
It's not with him because
I just gave that as an
with
example.
R. Kelly.
With R. Kelly, let's say.
It's in the back of my
straight
mind.
away.
Not straight away, but if I listen to an album of R. Kelly's, because you're listening to him
Now
constantly.
you hear the words differently.
Yeah, you hear exactly. Like you listen to Bump and Grind.
Oh
you know what I mean?
What
Like,
did it
my
mean?
mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when you know all of a sudden like his history, you're like, hang on a sec, that's not right. You know, so it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Like I love R. Kelly's music. I do find it strange listening to him, but I still listen to him.
Yeah.
But
It is
getting to the
strange.
P. Diddy thing, people in the industry knew what's going on.
Yeah.
Now, when I say no, we're not saying underage
Are
girls.
they just as guilty?
No, we're not saying I didn't know there was underage girls, but I knew that he had freak-off parties.
Yeah.
I knew his parties were wild.
If parties are like mature, overage, everyone's consent, really at the end of the day, it's no one's
It's just
business.
consenting adults.
It's none of your goddamn business what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think the issue with that, before you go on, sorry, Rock, is that there's trafficking involved. So he's actually organising.
So
women.
none of us, we didn't know
but
that,
there you
that
go.
much information.
Yeah.
But
No, but
that's
there
the-
you go.
But
There you go. I said consenting.
Yeah.
racketeering.
Yeah.
they
Right.
call it.
So it's a
As
racist.
long as everyone in the whole thing is consenting,
Yeah.
you can't say anything.
No, of course not.
Right.
Yeah,
But if there isn't, because then the others and the trafficking gets
Yeah.
involved.
No,
and
but
all
it's also
that.
drugging, yeah? So
there was drugging.
drugging.
There was
Yeah,
there was
that's what I
drugging.
mean. That's not consenting.
Yeah.
That's not consenting.
And there was-
As long as it's consenting,
That's not-
right. It's fine. But as soon as it's not consenting. Someone's getting drugged or whatever. Then it's not fine. You know, like.
Well, let's not gloss-
Or the other. The other one would be also not only that. If you are, just say like it happened more in the. Oh no, probably happens in the music industry too. In the movies, where if you don't do certain things, you don't get your break.
Absolutely.
So what's that called? That's like you being
Blackmail.
Not really blackmail. That's like there's a word for it.
Yeah.
Well, you don't-
It's kind of blackmail.
Well, how many did it for Epstein and that? Like he was,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
For Weinstein.
Weinstein,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
he
yeah.
was doing it, man. I mean, how many
Yeah.
actors like how many
yeah.
women come out and said
But
like,
here's the point. Now you're uncovering music industry. You did movies. Next is going to be the sports industry.
Yeah.
How many Olympians that want to get through, or a player that want to get through? There's no chance of getting through
Unless you
unless
do
you do that.
ABC.
Same
Yeah.
thing. The corporate's going to be the same. That's
I
not
know.
coming out. Yeah.
I know,
Well, it's a good thing that it's coming out.
100%.
It's a great thing because we're holding these people.
accountable.
These people who hold so much power, right, that they're able to control your career,
Yeah,
right? And we're holding those people accountable, which I think is very necessary.
Yeah.
I think it's so necessary.
well, you're a big wrestling fan,
Love wrestling.
Vince McMahon.
That's
It's on Netflix, yeah?
Yeah.
but not the. I don't know if all the. I haven't finished the actual Netflix.
watched it
thing.
all.
I watched the first episode.
I watch it all.
So did they
What
get
about-
deep with the allegations?
Pretty deep.
That people are dying. The one
So,
that
but the thing,
No.
no. Pretty deep. Well, one died. That wrestler died, but that's
Yeah.
not. You really can't put it back
Yeah.
to him. But so it gets pretty deep. But the thing is, they did the doco before the allegations come out,
and then they.
right? And I think it was the last episode that it came out, and then they finished
Yeah.
off the thing. So when you hear him talking, the allegations haven't come out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he resigned and that.
Those allegations, if he's guilty of those, mate, he should be hung.
What did he do?
Public. Oh, bro, there's like stories of making like female wrestlers, like, you know, obviously sleep with other people,
Yeah.
sleep with him.
Yeah.
Doing like horrendous stuff, bro. Like fucking
R. Kelly shit.
worse. Worse.
Vince McMahon was doing
Vince
that.
McMahon apparently was
He was a powerful man.
the guy who would like send them in to their mates. You know, he'd tell her like, "Yeah, come around."
They were in text
I got
messages.
everything, text messages of what he wants her. But bro, disgusting. Like stuff.
But then again-
your brain can't imagine.
Wow.
This is
Yeah,
again
horrible.
all allegations, so we're not saying
Exactly.
any of
We're not
this is
saying he's
like-
guilty.
We're
Well,
just
we
saying,
don't
and
know.
this is only what I've seen.
Yeah.
Like the doco's out on
Yeah, yeah,
Netflix,
yeah.
so I'm not saying anything that's
Yeah.
not being out there, you know.
Yeah,
but that
yeah.
was, I watched the wrestling all through my juniors, you know what I mean? And then so I forgot about a lot of these things, and so the doco brought it all back for me.
Yeah.
How popular was it in the 80s for us?
Oh,
as kids?
huge.
It was massive.
Huge. But he didn't... He's a great man because of what he built, right?
McMahon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you saw, like, his old man was hard.
Yeah.
Remember what I was saying to you last week?
Yeah.
Like, we're hard.
Yeah, yeah,
imagine what they copped, and imagine what they copped, you know? So he did it, but when he took over, like, he become ruthless. He became ruthless, man. Like, it was all for the business. It didn't matter what he had to do.
When did he take over? WWF?
So
No,
before the WWF, yeah, his dad had his own kind of territory. So American wrestling was in territories.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, you know, northeast of, you know, the States, and southeast and west, and like the kilometres between.
And no one would cross over.
Yeah, and then
They
he
had
took
this
over.
like... They just had
it was
this-
an unspoken.
Mafia.
It was an unspoken thing.
That's my territory. That's your territory. Mafia.
Everyone just keep their own...
Exactly, but with wrestling, and Vince took over his dad, who was also called Vince, and then he just thought, you know what, why are we sticking to our territory? Why can't we? Like, there's no law. I'm not breaking any laws.
Yeah.
So he just stood over. He wasn't even standing over him. He was just pinching. He was paying these people to come in.
Yeah.
These other wrestlers from other regions, and mate, that's where he started WWE, and he used Hulk Hogan.
Then he
Hulk
got Hulk
Hogan
Hogan.
was the one.
Yeah, great ideas too.
Yeah, he was
Star.
Vince McMahon was a genius.
Yeah.
And a ballsy human. Right, to be able to do what he did takes balls.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of money. It's a big gamble, and it paid off. You know,
Yeah.
more than he probably
He went
even
to
thought.
TV, you know what I mean? Then he got his family involved, and the stories he
Yeah.
was creating, you know.
Yeah.
You remember the stories he was creating to build up the atmosphere and that, and then he had like Hulk Hogan, like you said, and then Hulk Hogan went over to the other side.
Yeah.
Right? And that's when he started to find like, wow.
And that's when I started watching wrestling. So when I started watching wrestling, it's when Hulk Hogan went from WWF to WCW.
Yep.
And I was a big WCW kid when I was like, I used to love Sting and and all that, Macho Man. I was into that.
Randy Savage.
And then Hulk Hogan turned into this bad guy, and that was a big risk from WCW. That was their big risk, and that paid off.
Did it work?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He was the American hero.
Exactly. And then this massive hero turned into the biggest villain, probably in wrestling history. And WCW just didn't know what to do with that. They didn't know what to do with all these stars, and they had this amazing product, but they didn't have a Vince McMahon.
Yep.
WCW was all cash. It was just a cash cow, and there was nobody who could mold the business for them. And they just crumbled, you know, like they had it for maybe 2 years, 2-3 years, where they were on top, maybe not even. And then
No, it was a couple of years, you're right. It was a couple of years, and then Vince McMahon took over again, man.
And then he bought him out,
he destroyed him and bought him out.
Yeah.
He
So
destroyed
what
him.
you're saying is these industries are all quite similar, because music industry, like
They are.
Vince McMahon, we've had Clive Davis, Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
They're the big guys.
Yeah.
They rule. And then if you want to succeed, I mean, you've got to
Quincy
follow.
Jones worked with who?
MJ.
And Clive Davis, Whitney Houston. You know, like his big Rod Stewart, Santana, etc. But
Yeah.
they're the biggest hits for them. So I think I think something will come out on them one day.
Really?
100%.
I think it has to be. I think
No, but
if
Clive
you're-
Davis is the mentor for Puff Daddy.
Well,
Did you know that?
I didn't know that. no.
Okay. Did you know that?
No.
I didn't know that.
Do you know who Clive Davis is?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't know that.
He's his mentor. You got him to the label, set up the label for him, the whole
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
So he's getting questions
Look,
at the
even-
moment.
You know, now, like we were talking about this the other day, and the music industry, like, and then you look at, you know, there's been stuff come out on Justin Bieber, you know.
Yeah.
Imagine what a life he led. They got him from like a little kid,
Off a YouTube
Right.
video.
13, 14.
right?
Yeah.
And then
No,
they
younger,
put him.
bro.
Well,
No, it was even younger than
Yeah, I
that.
think he was younger, bro. Yeah.
And then you imagine what he went through.
Yeah. Imagine what Hollywood and
Now
and
look
the
at him.
industry.
He looks like he's
checked out.
He's checked out. That's a good word. He's checked out now. You look
so
at him.
talented, man.
And he is, and his voice is so good, right?
No, he's writing. He's so talented.
But what they'll do
what-
is they'll just abuse them and use
Well,
them until they suck every little last
Every
bit of juice
drop.
out of it.
That's what they
and then
do.
they throw them away. You know?
That's the industry. And
He's still
unfortunately,
got value.
he does.
Yeah.
Right?
He's still got
think about-
You're
value.
not going to throw him away when he doesn't have value.
No, he's still got value at the moment.
Someone like Bobby Brown, they threw out
Well, this is the thing, yeah.
because he had value, and then he went,
He's still got value, but he's still got value, but what's he really done? Like, it seems like he's wasted a lot of years now.
Bobby Brown?
No, Justin Bieber.
No,
Oh.
Justin Bieber can release an album tomorrow.
Yeah.
He'll still sell millions of copies.
He will.
He'll sell out world tours.
Yeah.
so he's not chewed out. That's
Yeah.
the point.
No, he's not chewed out, but don't you think it could be like years of wasted talent? Because you've only got so much talent in you.
Can I tell you? Here's something that's very interesting for you. This guy that's worked in the music business for a long time. There's not many artists that have had longer than a 10-year span. Would you believe that?
Yep, I believe that.
So when we go
Not
Michael
many.
Jackson,
Yeah.
we go. No, let's start with Elvis Presley,
Yeah.
the first big pop star, right? When did he take off? 55, 56?
Yep.
When did he die? He went into the movies in the 60s.
Yeah.
So 61, 62 came in the Beatles,
Yep.
right? And the Beatles killed Elvis musically because Elvis went into, he pivoted. Beatles, Rolling Stones,
Yep.
and the 70s was a bit, everyone's popping pills and smoking drugs, that sort of stuff. But if you look at the big icons, then Michael Jackson was from 79, to be honest, to from Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad,
What a run.
but that's it. Dangerous wasn't that good.
Dangerous is incredible.
No, was it a big hit?
Maybe, I don't know.
I like
but
Dangerous,
Dangerous for me,
Do you like the song Dangerous?
I
or
love the entire album from the cover art to the final
The
track.
cover art is brilliant.
I think what Teddy Riley did on that album,
Yeah.
production wise, was so like.
How many songs are memorable?
I'm a massive fan of the
No, I
album.
know, and this is a good. This is
Yeah.
a good.
If I bring the album up,
No, I will tell you. I know the tracks on there.
Yeah.
So, how many tracks today? And guys in the chat would say the only track that's probably still today that you can hear and go, "Oh, okay, which song is that from that album today?" It with the Stands of Time from that record is Black and White, right?
Remember the
and
Time.
Remember the Time.
Yeah. See, my favourite tracks.
In the Closet. Who is it?
See, yeah. So, two of my favourite tracks, MJ tracks, probably two of my top 5 MJ tracks are on that album. That's Who Is It? And Giving to Me
Giving to Me is a great track.
is probably my favourite.
But you
MJ
won't hear it
track.
on the radio.
No, you won't
No,
hear it
you
on the
won't.
radio. No.
So you hear Billie Jean, you hear Thriller, you beat
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but
Smooth
they'll always
Criminal,
play the same.
The Way You Make Me
Smooth
Feel.
Criminal,
Yeah.
yeah.
But come on, but that's all the other records. Rock With You, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough.
But that's with everyone, isn't it?
But are we?
No, but that says to you that those were his golden era.
His era, yeah.
yeah.
Is those three albums?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
course.
absolutely they were, as far as #1 pop radio hits, and he's the king of pop. So obviously, I understand it needs to translate into everything else he does, but if we're going to measure an artist by radio success or chart success, then I think it's unfair on the artist because like.
But I can say the same about Prince, right? So for me, Prince is the greatest artist.
See, for me, I think Prince is all right.
yeah, all right, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
reckon, but
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
Prince
but
is probably
he's
the
less
most-
commercial
Way less.
than Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
but
as
is
a
that,
musician,
but is that, you know, with Prince,
he kills
All over him.
He kills
Absolutely.
MJ
Absolutely. As a musician.
as a musician.
Ab-
as an
absolutely.
overall a musician,
As a musician,
100%.
Yeah,
It's not even debatable.
But Michael Jackson's the entertainer.
He's the entertainer.
Yep. So this is why I think like you can't. I feel like you can't judge an artist on solely on what tracks have been commercially successful.
But no, but the commercial success is a reflection of what the audience thinks is right. That's
the majority audience, right? But do you think that an artist and you're a musician, right?
Yeah.
So you've done music.
Yeah.
Do you think artists deserve to make projects for themselves?
Prince did that.
Absolutely.
That's what made Prince. He was like, "Fuck you." He did
Yeah.
Purple Rain, and then after that, he'd want to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, is that a bad thing that the album wasn't a commercial success?
No, but what I'm saying, pop music is a reflection of
Yeah.
That's why it's called pop. It's
Yeah,
population.
popular, yeah.
And popular.
Popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
popular. Popular of the population, right?
Yeah.
So there's a reason why Billie Jean is probably his greatest track because it's probably the most popular track. It's even more popular than Thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's his greatest track anyway.
Thriller or Billie Jean?
Billie Jean.
I think Billie Jean's one of the greatest tracks of all time.
Yeah, it's
any genre, I just think it's a perfect track. I think it's one of the very few perfect tracks ever created. Like I think.
It's a good argument because the song shouldn't define an artist. Because I'll tell you, Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
I Need Ice Ice Baby. It's a fucking great track.
Yeah, of course.
Is he a great artist? No, it's not.
Yeah.
No. It's
But one
an
song
interesting
can
one.
be, one song can be like one hit wonder. It doesn't make.
But it's like a footballer. Kicks 8 goals and then he's gone.
yeah. Or sometimes look, and at the end of the day, as an artist, even in the movies, there's only so much in you.
Of course.
There's only so much in you that you can produce. Like especially music, there's only so many songs someone's got in them, and then it's done.
You know who?
Well, who continues on after?
I'll tell you who's continued.
Who?
That I think I'm impressed. Is Coldplay.
Coldplay is a
they've been
great
for 20
band.
years.
Yeah.
U2 only had 10 years or less. You name me a band that's had longer than 12 years.
Well, I think it goes back to what we were talking about last
name
week.
me one.
Not with
Eminem?
like
Commercial
Eminem?
success. See, I
with hits because
But he's declining.
their longevity.
Absolutely, that's what I mean. Like someone like Eminem, I think Eminem, and I'm somewhat of an Eminem fan. I think he's great.
Yeah.
I can't listen to too much of him.
Yeah.
So much of his newer stuff I can't do. Right, like it's good for a listen, but there's no replay value.
The guy's 51 years old.
Hey, and he's still like his lyrically still one of the greatest lyrically. Like, and his ability to actually rhyme and put words and puns together, and his ability to just write a beat is still good. His flow's a bit. How you going now? But he's got a fan base though that's so loyal to him, and I think it doesn't matter if you're good or bad. If your core fan base is big enough, you're gonna find success. You're gonna find chart success.
MJ,
and that's what. But MJ was still making decent music.
But
Right,
in
not a great
2001
band,
he
either.
did Invisible, right?
Yeah,
1 or 2 songs.
hated that album. Yeah, I hated that album.
Rodney Jerkins was the producer.
Yeah, and I wasn't like huge on that album.
Good track, Rock My World.
Rock My World's brilliant, right? Brilliant.
Very
Who
well.
produced that? That was
Rodney Jerkins.
Really?
Rodney Jerkins. Dark
Is
Child.
he Darkchild? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Darkchild.
He did Tony Braxton.
See, I think Darkchild's a very underrated producer.
He's a great producer.
Because I think the work he did with Destiny's Child, the work he does with Beyonce, that
Tony Braxton.
90s, 2000s R&B
J-Lo.
era was all Darkchild.
Yeah, no, he had a
He was
period.
the sound of that era.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like in music, there's 10 years, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, we've got some comments here, and we'll go through, like, MJ, Elvis, the Beatles are 3 artists that most transcended music. Their influence was cultural as much as it was musical, which
That's
is true.
true, yeah.
That's Jack Hardy. John Holden says ACD is still going after 50 years.
No.
Probably
But they
huge
got
after
different.
30, last 20, not so much. But there's
When
a
was the
difference
last-
between...
When was the last hit of
No, and this is what I was going to say. There's a difference between, like, all those bands are still going. Like, Rolling Stones are still going, you know what I mean? But when's their last hit, you know what I mean?
ACDC, they had 20 years.
Yeah, no, they had 20
So,
years.
like, mid-70s till mid-90s?
Well, they even went like, oh, yeah. Because it started with Bon Scott.
That's what I'm saying. So, mid-70s.
So you got Bon Scott all the way to Brian Johnson there.
Yeah.
And all the way, yeah. When was their last, what was their last
big hit.
Big,
I think it was mid-90s.
yeah, and what was it?
I don't know.
Probably Thunderstruck.
I reckon
Yeah, maybe
Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck. Oh, fuck,
And
they
that
were a
was
good
huge.
band, man.
They were a great band.
I've never really got into AC/DC.
AC/DC.
Oh my God.
Not that I haven't liked what I've heard. I've just never really
Yeah, see,
put the time in.
They are fucking phenomenal.
You know what?
Yeah,
I
good.
reckon Johnny fucking Holden's can answer this. Bon
Yeah.
Scott or Brian Johnson? I know there's I know that big AC/DC fans
Yeah.
don't like Brian Johnson. You know, like
Yeah, I know. The OG.
Bon Scott, man. Like they'll turn around, they go, nah, no way, man. Like there's no way.
Did he
you know?
pass away or something?
Yeah, in the 70s.
Okay.
And then Brian Johnson come along, you know.
But you know, Back in Black is one of the all-time biggest selling albums. You know,
Yes.
it's like
I
top
know.
5.
It's an unbelievable
Of all
album.
time,
Yeah.
Unbelievable album.
I mean, Thriller's number 1.
I think All Eyes on Me by Tupac is up there too.
Let me check.
I'm pretty sure All Eyes on Me is one of the probably big. I know it's the biggest selling rap album.
But can we really compare?
Pretty sure, unless something like new,
Eminem is.
maybe actually Marshall Mathers LP.
But wait, can we compare old time artists to new artists where selling records and music is a lot easier?
No, see, I disagree. I think it's and I think the numbers. So there's two ways to look at it, right? To buy a physical copy is harder now, right? So now you got streaming and all that, but numbers are much lower now than what they were. So numbers have dropped. People aren't selling anymore. Like you got 250,000 records in first week now is a massive week. Whereas
What about physical?
yeah, physical copies.
Yeah.
No, but now that's all inclusive of streaming now as well.
No. The numbers of streaming has gone nuts.
Yeah, but they don't. So I think to actually equate a sale, you have to have a certain amount of streams.
Yeah. Like what we classify as gold and platinum level or diamond, they call it.
That's changed now, hasn't it?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, because they can't keep up. People used to sell millions back in the day. Now it's like there's too many options. There's too many free options as well.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
So, and that's what killed the music industry kind of in the 2000s.
In a way, yeah, and then they had to kind of recover from it because it was killing it. But what I'm saying is, you get someone like, I'll go way back to Elvis Presley, right? He didn't even tour outside of America,
It's unbelievable.
right? Couldn't even tour outside of America, right? The only time you could hear is Elvis if they played it on the radio or if he was on the Ed Sullivan show, you know, something like that, you know, or else you'd have to
Can you
physically
imagine
buy
if
it.
Elvis had social media?
This is what I'm saying. Can you imagine someone like Elvis with social media now, like at the time, like would that go beyond anything MJ did and everything? Like,
Well, MJ didn't have social media either. There was more media.
No, but you know what? With
yeah, I
Elvis,
suppose he started
think about what happened with Elvis. What year was it? 56?
when he started. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What was the big invention of 1956?
Television.
Yeah.
That was the social media.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We had the Olympics.
Remember, they couldn't.
Melbourne had the Olympics, didn't they?
Do you know the first time he went on Ed Sullivan,
Yeah, right.
they weren't allowed to show below the
Yeah,
waist
I've seen that. Yeah,
because
that-
he would
shake his hips.
shake his hips, and women would go crazy.
Yeah,
Find this top 5.
How is that?
It's wild.
And he'd have protests outside. People would have banners saying he
Yeah.
is the devil.
yeah. Wow.
The devil is.
It's amazing how far we've gone as. A
And now
society.
look at
Now
the videos, and you go,
Crazy.
"Oh my god!"
Crazy. It's
Yeah, and Elvis didn't tour because of Tom Parker. If you've seen the movie,
because of what?
so his manager wasn't allowed outside of the country because of his convictions, or he was some sort of alien, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
So he convinced, because Elvis was going to tour, but he convinced him to stay. So he pretty much did Las Vegas for 10 years every day, you know.
Crazy.
Do you want to hear the top 10?
Sure.
Of all time,
Greatest
Elvis
song.
song.
greatest
Yeah.
song.
All right, go.
I don't know if it's incorrect
Taylor Swift?
because no, but it should have Michael Jackson Thriller as number 1. But for whatever reason, it says Back in Black is number 1.
There you go.
Hotel California.
Oh, well, the Eagles, mate, like what a... But
That's
again,
true.
they had a short, like...
Yeah, it's 10.
But
no,
Hotel
10.
California could be one of the best songs.
Yeah. Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah,
Saturday Night Fever.
yeah.
It's the greatest soundtrack of all time.
That's wild that it's like in that top 10 though. That's,
Oh.
The Bodyguard.
wow, another soundtrack.
Well, The Bodyguard more so because...
It's a soundtrack, yeah.
Yeah,
All right, let me go to your one. The next one after that is Dark Side of the Moon.
yeah, that's huge.
Then Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
No, that's Shelby Eating.
Okay. Led
ABBA?
Zeppelin.
Any Abbas in there?
Michael Jackson Thriller. Bad Out of Hell.
Bad Out of Hell. It's a
And then to wrap it up is Shania Twain.
Shania Twain.
She had that.
Yeah, that
record
run
was-
that in the 90s. Yeah, mid 90s.
That was big. And then it gets to other things like Fleetwood Mac, Rumours.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, that's really interesting. It's interesting that there isn't. I thought Tupac's All Eyes on Me
Oh, let's have a look.
was. It might be just the highest rap album.
Yeah, greatest
Maybe
selling-
Maybe Eminem has
No, rap album. Let's have a look.
overtaken him. I'm assuming Eminem would have overtaken
There
him.
you go. One of the great albums. Meatloaf. I'm gonna add his best. Right?
Yeah.
One of the greatest voices. I don't care
Oh,
what
yeah,
I say. Forget about what he did at the grand final, right? At his best, this bloke had a range. I still say that are Queens. Freddie Mercury is the best
Yeah.
vocals I've ever
He's a
heard.
gun, man.
Where does someone like MJ rank?
Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Where-
vocally.
Oh, vocally.
Oh, right up there.
He's up
Right
there.
up there.
He's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
right up there.
Yeah.
He had a different range, but right up
Yeah.
there. Elvis, I love listening to Elvis. I sometimes listen to his music, and he's got he's just got this beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Man. I reckon Elvis was one of the most perfect artists. He was a beautiful man. Like absolutely gorgeous, like fantastic.
Should we leave him
I'm
alone?
telling you, mate. I turned for
No,
him.
he's fucking. It's
He was,
attractive, man.
mate. He was
I'm with
just
you.
beautiful, man. And then he had the voice, he had the moves. You know, like he was perfect, mate.
Marshall Mathers, All Eyes on Me. Yeah, Life
Number
After
two.
Death. Yeah. I assumed. I had a feeling Marshall Mathers LP.
Which one's Life After Death? Who's both?
That's Biggie.
So you got
Outkast.
Eminem, Tupac,
Yeah.
Notorious B.I.G. and then MC Hammer.
Was that MC Hammer there? Yeah.
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 Hammer time.
Well, MC Hammer's another one. Like MC Hammer was, this pop guy, and he was all this.
No.
You know
his
he's
job?
he's one of the biggest actual gangsters in hip hop
No, but
history.
hold on. Do you know that he worked for Capitol Records?
Did he? Yeah.
He was like a record company executive.
Yeah.
Did he create the music?
So there you go.
Wow, that song there, man.
He was all like Tupac made fun of him in an interview or something, and then they bumped into each other.
Hammer
and,
time.
and hey, I'll tell you what, he fucking almost.
love that song,
He
mate.
almost gave him the hammer time. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, that's true.
That
too,
was
that's
that was pretty brutal.
The other thing I just want to say to wrap up on the music side is that, from my experience, being a gatekeeper of the music, because when you sign stuff, there's 4 major labels or 3 now, and you're one of the 3 that are signing things. You're basically choosing what comes out.
Yeah.
So in the days, there was less releases than there is today, and more. There was only like one form of the income coming through, so it was very easy. So it's a retail store. You sell the records, you get that. Today, Spotify, YouTube, this, that. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Well, that's why I think there was probably less options, back in the day. So record sales were probably booming because you only had 20 people to
100%.
choose from.
The form of
100%.
entertainment was only movies and music.
And the same. How many movies, like in our days, in the 70s and 80s, right? How many movies would come out a year? 20?
That's crazy.
10? 15? Like you used to,
Netflix
used to
releases.
wait, this movie's coming out, Now every day, I don't know what to watch anymore,
It's called the paradox of choice. Do you remember when The Outsiders came out? Do you remember that movie?
Yep.
Have you seen The Outsiders?
No. Good movie?
Well, let's
But you know that started about 5 different careers. That started Tom Cruise, Rob Lowe, who else? Rocco. The Outsiders. Remember, there's all the kid from Karate Kid, Ralph.
Ralph
Macho.
Macho. Yeah, you had Rob Lowe. You had there was a whole bunch of all the
Estefan, Emilio.
Emilio. Yeah.
They all come out of that movie.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All these
And they were all
young stars.
Yeah.
Wow.
Matt Dillon.
Was Phoenix in there?
Yeah.
The brother,
Yeah.
the one who died.
River
Phoenix.
I'm telling you, that movie was just like, put them out there. They're going to be the next hit for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Well,
crazy.
talking about Phoenix and movies,
All right.
You watched it.
I did the challenge. I went and watched The Joker.
What did you think? Because there's a lot
Is it
of
good?
people. There's a lot of people.
I heard you talking about it
smack
last week. Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, it's got even worse. Like people are like, I walked out. I want a refund. I got a refund. I thought it was a good movie.
Is it
Good
good?
movie.
You like it?
I liked it.
Yeah, thank you.
I liked it.
Thank
we
you.
enjoyed it. Me and Dylan, we sat there. I enjoyed every moment of it. Now,
Is it
people-
dark? Is it dark?
But both are dark. Like, of course, they're dark. They go into a dark place, you know. But they got Lady Gaga. You know what? I don't rate Lady Gaga as an actor much, but you know what?
Did all
Again,
right.
she performed well.
Yeah.
She performed
She's a
well.
good actress.
I
Is
think-
it actor or actress?
Actress.
I think they like to be called actor now.
All right, then she was a
they
good
like to
actor.
be called
That's
actor,
why I
yeah.
said it.
Now they say it's a musical, but the difference is, you know, like everyone kept saying it's a musical,
Nah,
and I
man.
kept thinking like, oh, you know what, all the prison guards and that they're all going to start.
yeah.
Oh, is it like that?
Nah.
I hate
So what happens
good.
is it's a lot of it's in his head, the
Yeah,
music.
exactly.
So what he does is he'll be talking and something will happen and then they'll start to do this little routine, but it's in his head.
Yeah.
And a lot of the songs were songs we know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like he's making up like Elvis Lemonade,
Yeah.
that cool, refreshing drink. It wasn't that. It was songs we knew, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah.
and it was at an appropriate time, you know? And it's, I don't know what people are talking about, man.
I think that a lot of people go into the movie with this expectation of Joker, with this vision of what they think Joker should look like.
Yeah.
And we've had so many different Jokers.
Yeah.
We've had so many different Batmans.
Yep.
You know, that like
Doesn't
everybody's
end.
it does exactly. So like this is just the ending of one.
Yeah.
You know, and it's fine that it didn't work out the way you wanted to. But I think people were just being really harsh on the movie. I thought it was great.
I thought it was a great movie. I enjoyed it.
Would you watch it again?
Yeah.
You? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think part one is one of the greatest movies ever
Part one's
made.
better. If you're going to compare it to part
You
one,
mean- which one?
The first Joker. So this
The
is
first
Joker
Joker.
2.
Oh, that one. Yeah, but it's dark.
See,
yeah.
I love that. I love that it's dark.
What's,
and
it,
it
what's the
deep.
guy, main guy's actor? What's his name?
Joaquin Phoenix.
well, okay, that's River Phoenix's
River
brother.
Phoenix's brother.
I know, but he's such a good actor.
Right, he's brilliant.
Oh,
He's
fantastic!
brilliant.
And this is another thing I was saying to Dylan. A lot of times I go and watch a movie. I like the movie, but sometimes I like the performance of an actor.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the movie. I just think, wow, what a... And he, again,
Yeah.
blew it out of the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
water, man. The bloke was
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic.
Just
in his own-
committed to the role.
Can I ask you? You were talking about movies and we were talking about music. Do you feel like, or is it, we just getting older? I'd be interested to see what other people think. When we were younger, it used to feel like every week, or especially in the summer, there was that many great songs, hits were just coming out. And same as the movies. And today I don't feel like it's the same.
Because there's so many. Like, I think it's just now like...
Oversaturated.
It's diluted.
It's oversaturated, you know. Like, you used to make a great movie, make a great song, you know. It's just so much it comes out, it just gets lost.
They're churning it out.
Just gets lost.
It's a
in there.
factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it also depends on the genre you're into, right? Like, I think there are so many genres now, and I think pop music now is just, it's not a sound anymore.
Yeah.
Right? I think now what's popular is what's, I don't really look at the charts for what's popular anymore. Are you going
Would
to
you
the,
call Drake pop?
I'm a massive Drake fan. I think any artist that you know is on the radio, any genre is under the umbrella of pop music. If you're on the radio, you're making pop music. You don't think so?
No. All right, I'll give you an example. Nora Jones, okay? She's not pop music.
Is she on the radio?
Yeah.
Heaps? Like I've never heard.
Oh, when
of
she
it.
Not
rele-
heaps,
But
but-
when she released her song,
Like I think that they could, like the subgenre is there.
so is Eminem, is he pop?
Absolutely.
Tupac?
I think Tupac's not on radio, right? I think these rappers can make pop music, right? And this is what I think we spoke about last week with the difference between hip hop and rap.
Yeah, I heard that. I didn't totally agree with you on that, but that's okay.
Tell me what you think the difference is, because I don't
That's
know.
interesting.
That was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
how
tell
I
me what
how
you
I
I,
heard
think.
that last week. You were talking about. So, I disagreed on something.
I said that hip hop for me was something with more of a like an upbeat sound with an R&B hook.
But we tend to call that R&B hip hop as both. So not just hip hop.
I don't know. I look at that as hip hop. Yeah. What do you define as hip hop?
So I think rap Well, let me talk rap. So for me, rap is less commercial. So a rap record is more sort of like long format of like it's more about the message and the track.
Yeah, without the chorus.
Not so much the chorus is not so important, but
That's what I said rap was last week.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I agree with you there.
And
But
hip
what's
hop,
hip hop? Yeah,
hip hop is it's
it's a weird one.
yeah.
It's a weird one to kind of differentiate because you know the sound, but it's hard to.
All right. So is Eminem rap or hip hop?
Eminem falls into rap for me,
He's rap.
but he's made hip hop tracks and he's made some really commercial pop tracks as well.
Oh yeah.
So I think he's able to.
Do you know Naughty by Nature?
Of course,
Okay. Is that hip hop or rap?
I think that's more rap than hip hop.
I think that's hip hop. So if I listen to OPP,
Yeah. See, OPP is a hip hop track.
that's what I'm saying.
That's a hip hop track.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
But
Okay,
it's like, listen to like Tupac. Tupac's not hip hop. Tupac's rap.
California Love is hip hop.
See what I mean? But he's a rapper. He makes rap.
That's a good topic, huh?
You know, he makes rap. But he like, yes, he makes hip hop. He makes pop tracks for the radio. You know, and this is what I mean. Like, if you're on the radio, for me, you're making pop music, and pop music isn't defined by sound anymore. And this is what I'm saying, because like, look at the charts. Like, pop music back in the day was probably like you said, Beatles, Rolling Stones. You know, they are different, but they're kind of similar.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas now, it's like, man, you got a country song, and then you've got, you know, a trance song, and you might have a hip hop or a rap song, and then you might have, like, who knows, like Adele. You know what I mean?
Drum and bass, could be anything.
Like, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is what I mean. Like, I feel like the definition of pop music has kind of shifted away from a sound and has become more of a ideology.
I think the word probably pop is not. We should call them radio songs.
Yeah.
I think radio is the better
but
term.
radio plays pop music.
So
That's
when
like-
I think of pop, I think Taylor Swift.
Yep, same.
I think Backstreet, Britney, that sort of stuff. Madonna, she's pop, but then she goes.
She does different things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does different things. Anyway, interesting.
So we'll go on, but just quickly, we got Omar.
Oh,
One
shout
of
out Omar, by
Yeah.
the way. Absolute legend of a bloke. Came into my shop, visited me, and brought me a gift, actually. Brought me Animals on vinyl, Pink Floyd.
Oh wow!
So shout out Omar. Appreciate you coming in.
That's unreal.
It was an amazing surprise. Top bloke, had a quick chat with him. So yeah, really appreciate.
Now, Pink Floyd was a big hit last week. Like
I
the
heard,
conversation
yeah.
on Pink Floyd was a big hit. I mean, a lot more people than I thought actually are into Pink Floyd. You know, and I was saying I like to thank Andy because I'm a massive Pink Floyd fan, but over the years I've stopped listening to them for a while. You know, I just
Yeah, of course.
this week I reckon I've listened to every album. I just went
Good
through
idea.
everything, man, and I just love it, man. Like, I just went through all of it. And you know, last week, you know, I was saying, you were going, what was your favourite albums and that, and I forgot to tell you, like, Momentary Lapse of Reason is one of my favourite albums, you know.
Yep.
So that's got songs like Time on there, which is one of my favourites. Time, you know, Time speaks so much to me, you know. And then naturally, you know, you got The Wall, and we forgot to mention Dark Side of the Moon.
That's the greatest song.
Dark Side of the Moon is like their Billie Jean. That's their thriller, you know.
Yeah.
Like, great album.
By the way, we were talking before. We've all were DJs.
We were all DJs.
Three of us.
Three of us have.
So you were in the
DJs.
'80s. You were playing "Strip for Me, Babe." That stuff. That stuff.
Boom, boom, boom. Let's
Let's
go
go
back
back.
to my room.
And I got into the '90s. I was like late '90s, and I was doing a lot of the New Jack Swing stuff, R&B, and then got into electronic music. And then you came into the 2000s.
2000s doing a lot of
Yeah.
R&B, hip hop, and some trance
So
as well.
someone who was watching, we might have done one of their parties, or they would have been,
who knows?
you know,
They would have
or
been
they
at a
could have
club.
been born at one of the nightclubs we were DJing at.
It was. I should have put. I got photos. We should next week. If you got, I've got photos of me DJing and that.
I've
I
got
should-
some photos.
I've got two.
Yeah,
a
we
couple.
should.
Yeah.
I should have brought them out. But no, DJing. That was a fun time. That was a fun time, man.
I loved it.
How long did you do it for?
From
What years did you guys?
I would have done it from definitely about 85, 86 to about
90?
maybe even 91, 92. So I did for 5, 6, 7 years, yeah.
You carry the... Yeah. Did you have the Technics 1200?
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
You had the 1200s?
Yeah,
All right, cool.
100%.
And you?
I was from probably 04. So when I was in year 11, I started getting paid to actually do some parties.
That's amazing.
So I was 16, 17. I was 16 at the time, yeah.
DJs are not musicians, no.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that, mate. Who said that? Who said that?
Bugs Bell.
I'll tell you what, Bugs Bell.
Tell them that instrument is the turntable. For us.
Exactly right. I would love to see Bugs Bell chuck a record on a thing and
mixing
Let me
one
tell you
song
now,
to another.
DJs now are attracting more audiences than fucking...
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I'm seeing one of the best DJs in the world in like a month. Anima, I don't know.
Yeah,
if you know
yeah, that's
Anima.
right.
Like Anima's a massive DJ, like, and they've got like 3D. Like I've got like, man, it's a massive show. Yeah, so
Yeah, I DJed from 1990. I think I started like doing parties, and my last gig, I did a Christmas gig last year, but last like regular gigs club was 2023 New Year's 22 to 23. I went all the way.
yeah, you've done decades.
Yeah, I did decades. Yeah.
That's good, bro. Hey, knowing how hard it is to actually like, you got to keep up with the music as well. Like,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
I was
every week.
I was losing a bit of track. At the end, I was just like, I didn't like the music that was coming out, so
Yeah.
I just stick to playing retro and that's
No, I think that's yeah. So we used to, because I used to work at Coles, right? So on the Friday we used to get paid cash in the little envelope.
Oh, that's good days.
They used to give it in the envelope, and we used to go straight to bloody straight to Central Station in the city.
City Square.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Go down there and get the late, and I think if you went there Friday like midnight, there was like the special editions used to come out. You used to be able to get the first like 12-inch super extended, versions.
No way.
They were the best, man. And then we used to carry the crates.
Yeah, I used to go crazy.
The crates, man, and set up. And you know what? Now I think about like setting up this show, getting this one ready, and being a DJ. Same sort of deal. All the work you put into getting ready for the event, and then get everyone partying. And as I said, once you're up there, man,
It's a performance, man.
you are. It is a performance.
did you ever stuff
I
up?
talk about that in the book.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff in the book about that.
Did you ever stuff up? And what was your worst? What was the worst thing you've done? What was the biggest?
I used to have nightmares about it. It was like, needing to go to the toilet or something in the middle of a track.
There was two of us, so we.
Yeah, but I'd work in the club
us,
and
You're on your own.
And my clubs are like packed,
Yeah.
fully packed. And you need to go to the toilet, so I've got to go put a Madonna mix or something.
So you can rush off.
Yeah, long 10 or 12 minutes, and
See, there was two of us, so we would share the load, So that was good like that. So
but I've got heaps of DJ stories, like crazy ones and stuff.
Can I tell you my biggest stuff up?
Go.
So, me and a friend.
where were you?
This was at Track. You know Track?
Oh yes.
Track Silvers.
Yeah. So Track.
I used to DJ there.
Right? Yeah, there you go. So this was Track R&B room peak. It's 1:30 a.m. The club is peaking.
Yeah.
There's probably 2,000 people in the place.
Yeah.
And just before I went on, I had a quick blaze.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
And I don't know what got into my brain. The music's going, I'm doing so well, it's just everything's vibing, it's really good. I don't know why, I just pressed pause on the song.
No.
Yeah, I just pressed, and yous would know, if the music stops,
What happened? Everyone
But
just
that's
stood there.
happened to me.
it just halts. So like there's like a halt, and then an echo, and then everybody goes, oh,
Yeah, what the fuck? And the lights are still going. That's happened to me too.
Yeah, and I quickly pressed play, and everyone was like cheering, and like thank God it was okay. And then one of the promoters come up to me and goes, what happened? I don't know, bro, the power cut out, but it came back on. I've done those ones.
So I happened to me. I had a guy. Every time I'd flip to go to the vinyls and go through the vinyls, I had a friend of mine to come and visit me, and he'd have this fascination that he'd act like he's DJing
Oh, no.
when I'm not looking. So, he'd put the headphones on and do this, and he'd press stop
Oh no!
accidentally, and it stopped, and it was peaking too. Same
It's
sort of
how it's not just the
and I
stop.
flipped it on him.
It's bad.
Fuck out of the DJ.
It's bad.
Yeah, it would be bad. But I mean, you can get out of that.
Yeah, you just tell them the power was went out.
No,
for a
but you
sec.
could have spoken on the mic, but it happened that quick.
Nah,
It was
you
only
just-
like-
I don't know.
It's a freeze. It's a freeze.
Yeah, it's like it's very bad.
What you're doing there, you're actually stopping energy.
Yes.
Because the energy from the people, the room, the lights, everything
Stops.
and then just go boom.
You switch it off.
It's a shock.
It is. And I'm telling you, like the way the music stops, it doesn't just go silent. There's like a halt to it. It's like a slight echo.
Yeah.
And everyone just like freaks out, and then they start losing it. You just quickly it was horrid. I've
I've had power outages in gigs
Yeah,
before.
I've had that too. Yeah.
Well, that's not your fault, but what can you do? That's it. Yeah. No, good times. They were good times. Well, I was reading your book, and first of all, everyone can get onto it, and
Yep.
all the links are below on that if you want to
This
get
is a
onto
revised
it.
version, by the way.
There is a revised version. Yes, you're right too.
So the difference in this, Rocco, is that anyone can see that is I've got QR codes in there, and I've added a couple of names.
What's on them?
Well, you can check, mate.
I'm going to check right now. Which one should I scan?
That one.
That one there?
Well, either which one.
Oh yeah.
What's on there?
I don't know. I'll tell you in a sec.
I've added a couple of
Spotify opens.
couple
Richard Rashid, 20 years of Arabic songs, either signed, licensed, and A&R. This is
know,
all
A&Rs,
music
yeah, that I've worked
that
on.
you've worked on.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, some big names here.
Well, in the Arabic world, but
Yeah, in the Arabic world. Yeah. Hey, but
You know what I want to talk
Nancy
about?
Ashram.
Yeah, I did one of her biggest hits.
Come on.
Yeah, bro.
Come on.
Well, you work with some big artists.
See
don't you?
I've got the platinum record at my home.
Tell me about it.
What do you
me
want to
about
know?
it. How did it come about? Because for everyone watching, Nancy Ashram is
Beyonce?
like a Beyonce. Yeah, I would say.
I don't like to talk about her. She's not
Not
my
a fan?
favourite. No,
Not a fan.
no, not really. No.
Now I want to know. Now I wanna know.
Well, this is Unfiltered. Why aren't
This
you
is
a fan?
Unfiltered, exactly.
No, that
Tell
one
me.
there, that one there was I marketed. So I handled the label of that.
Okay.
I got involved on promoting and marketing that record, and it was one of my. It's like we did maybe 3 million copies.
That's amazing.
So
Well, you work with
it's
some
one of the
big-
biggest records in.
It's one of the biggest records, not just in the Arab world. If you look at the numbers, if you look at like its popularity,
yeah.
it's probably one of the biggest tracks of all time.
I haven't heard
No,
it,
it's
so-
not. No.
You don't think so?
No.
Come on, bro. But I know like Australians who know this song.
Yeah, it's like, another one is
listen
like
to the song.
I did, Tamali Mark.
Yeah.
So that one I
That as
marketed.
well.
It's in there, but
That's crazy.
yeah, but no, I can tell you funny stories.
Who are some of the artists you worked with?
Nawel as well.
Which one?
Nawel Zombie.
Oh yeah.
Bro, this is amazing. These are like heavy duty artists.
But it's
yeah.
heavy duty for the Middle East. But
Yeah.
again, I had my 10-year period too. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us again, who are some of these artists you worked with?
Oh, they're mainly Lebanese, Egyptian.
Yeah.
There's
What about
Rocco
some more
Shireen.
traditional artists you worked with?
But you know that's one of my favourite. Oh no, wrong song.
which one?
I thought-
Lebanese into air.
No, that's a different one.
So I've done some fusion projects like I think I told you I did this TV show called Coke Studio.
Yes.
And we'd get Nally the rapper, and we'd get it with an Arabic artist, so we do that sort of stuff. So Nally, Flow Rider,
Flo Rida you worked with.
Yeah.
Cool in the Gang
Cool in the Gang,
you worked with, yeah?
Crazy.
Nile Rodgers.
Yeah.
I worked with Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones, yeah?
Yeah. Who else I worked?
Who's the
My ultimate was to work with Quincy Jones because
I was just about to ask. Let's not gloss over the fact
Yep.
that you just dropped Quincy Jones there
Yeah.
and you
So
worked with him.
I got to tell you the story of how this happened. So Quincy Jones set up a company in Dubai, and he was like, and he's got a strong link with Sony Music, obviously because of Michael Jackson and Epic Records. And I was consulting work. I had a label deal with Sony. My company was called Lionheart, it's a label. And they said, "Oh, Quincy Jones is looking for the next big talent out of the Middle East. He's got to sing, and he's got a lot of big investors behind him and stuff." And they said, "You know, we're going to get you on the call with him." And I'm like, "Quincy Jones, call? What the fuck?" Like, I'm like, yeah, of course. And I kept on calling the New York office and going, "When's this going to happen? When's it going to happen?" And they go, "Oh no, we're going to organise a Zoom call." It wasn't Zoom then, whatever it was probably Skype, right? It was then in those days. Jumped on a call with him, and we went on a mission to find the next big talent out of the Middle East, and that was the project. And then we did this competition, and it was him, Will.i.am, and Timbaland.
Oh wow!
Came to Dubai, and I worked with Quincy to find that talent. And we found the talent, and he signed him onto Quincy's label.
Crazy.
And then he told me at that time, he was calling me Golden Years, which I put in there, right? I'm thinking, man, Quincy Jones calling me Golden Years, right? And then, but here's the thing: never meet your idols, because I found him really weird, and I'm not going to talk about it on this, but
why not?
Because I don't want to get myself into particular possible trouble. But
we love trouble here. Unfiltered, we love a bit of trouble.
I'm going to be filtered here because I don't want to talk about it. But he gave me that much promises. Like he thought that. I'm not talking about Quincy Jones in a really positive manner. I think as a producer, great. But when I met him, he was telling me, "Listen, Golden Years, we're taking to the US. You're coming with me. Blah blah blah." Gave me sold me the farm. I'm going to leave Dubai. I'm going to America. I'm going to work with his team. His team. I met his wife, family. Nothing. After he did what he did, I was off the project. Kicked me off the project.
Oh, did he?
Well, after about 2 months, I was off the project.
Crazy.
How do you find that out? How do you find that out?
I mentored the artist that he signed.
How do you find that out? That you're off the project? What happens?
So what happened was we were supposed to develop an EP for her, and I was talking to her, and then all of a sudden she stopped talking. Then someone else got involved, and they said, "Look," and they wouldn't answer my calls anymore. And I got the point.
Really, just like that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's dirty.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
is that the music industry? Is that just like basically the music industry?
Yeah, he got what he wanted.
Yeah.
Found the talent.
Moves on to the next one.
Promised me and didn't deliver.
That's crazy.
The girl was not loyal to me because I pushed her. She wasn't going to make it to a competition, and I pushed her. They said, "Quincy, this girl, you got to try her. We need to put her into the competition." And then I stopped talking to her for about 3 years. I got pissed off at her.
Wow. So it's a spin out, but that's, I suppose,
that's the industry.
That's the industry.
Showbiz.
You kind of felt it firsthand, didn't you?
There's good stories and bad stories, but I don't think I put that in the book. That should be the next one.
Be in the next one.
But I reckon you go hard on him in your book.
Nah.
Do you want me to inbox him on Instagram and just abuse him?
Nah, I don't. He's alright. He's alright. He's just different. But I found them all a bit. Man, I found Timbaland weed.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's one of my favourite producers ever. Tell me
what's weird about him.
Is this supposed to be unfiltered? Like,
just go hard, bro.
Go, man. What do you want
about,
man? Just
Timbaland's not watching, bro.
Like he gives a shit about you.
No, I mean,
Rocco will cover your court costs.
no, no. There's different frequency, different people. They go next level, sort of like. It's hard, I won't be talking in riddles, but again, I liked him until I met him.
And then what?
I didn't like his vibe. And then
like what? What's the vibe? Like what was going on? Like what's going on with him? Like what did you like? Not genuine?
It was genuine, but it's just
off.
Look down on you?
Nah. I was the main guy there in the Middle East.
Then what's the issue?
Not my vibe. I vibe with him musically. Didn't vibe with him. I felt without getting into too much details, they were very sleazy. Okay, so
now we're starting to get into it.
Yeah, I don't want to talk
P. Diddy fucking that party kind of vibe.
I want to get into that. So, and Will.i.am, He was nice.
How was he?
For me, he was a bit, geeky.
Is he?
Very geeky guy. Smart, cool guy. You wouldn't think he's an artist.
Really?
Yeah, for me, it was more like great ideas, tech guy. But it wasn't,
Wasn't really a creator?
No, for sure he's a creator, but
What do you mean, like, wasn't a music guy or?
when I say music guy, I'm talking like Prince is a music guy. Michael
Like
Jackson.
with instruments or?
Don't get me wrong, he's a music guy, he's creative and stuff, but I didn't find him like a serious artist like
Really, I would have thought the different. I thought he was the creative genius of the Black
he
Eyed
is.
Peas.
I'm sure he is. I didn't find it in my conversations with him. That's
Okay.
Timberland I found like a real easy.
Yeah.
And he sampled a lot of Arabic stuff.
Yeah, I know, he loves it. Yeah.
And we sued him for pimping.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it's an Arabic track.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. He never got
That was
samples.
that
He
was
never got clearance.
He didn't get clearance, so we sued him for it.
Yeah, wow. It's one of my favourite songs. I love
it's unreal.
UGK.
Yeah. So yeah, but that was the interesting part.
All right, let's go. I'm going to change gears here. All right. We'll quickly talk about your book, right? Because as I said, man, but you started. I'm more interested in because of what I've read so far, right? I'm more interested in before you got to Dubai, right? You're living here in Melbourne,
Yeah.
living in St Albans,
No.
Newport.
Newport. Yeah.
Living in Newport, same thing,
No, it's not.
right? You're living in Newport as a good Lebanese
DJ.
Muslim boy. You know, you're living there, and it's a pretty tough area at the time, man. Newport.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, man. Of course, I remember, man.
Do you
All
remember the
those-
gangs of those days?
Well, I remember all the gangs. I mean, I remember more the gangs this side of town, but you used to have your gangs around there, and also
Lebanese Tigers.
they had the Lebanese
Do you know about
Tigers.
that or no?
They were the big ones.
Lebanese Tigers.
They were the big ones, the Lebanese
comment.
Tigers.
No comment.
The Lebanese Tigers, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and then you started to you were a break dancer, I heard.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
You're what?
Yeah.
A breakdancer.
You gotta read the book.
Talk to me.
First breakdance. I used to have my own cruise. And
Yeah?
I've got the videos still today of all of my shows.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How'd you start that? Just you loved it from a young
just
age?
loved it.
or-
I was a
big. When breakdancing came out,
It was massive.
like it hit us like a bolt of lightning, man. It was
Breakdancing and graffiti, like graffiti, that whole era of breakdance and beat
so in
street,
that 80s when it
That all
came
hip
out.
hop culture.
colours, the movie, like
Street beat, the king of the beat. I just love it. The movies they came out, man. It was just like, how long did it go for, Rash?
I reckon. It seems like it was long, but it's probably about 2-3 years. To
I
be
reckon a
honest.
bit longer, maybe 4 or 5. But it went and disappeared real
No, it
quick.
changed. It fused into more
Electric
this is when-
Boogaloo.
Yeah, it fused into more like rap
Yeah,
and
it
stuff.
did.
So it went into Run DMC, Beastie
Yeah.
Boys,
Well, isn't
LL
that-
Cool J.
Isn't that where kind of NWA came in?
No, they came later.
Was that after? So I was thinking that, well, yeah, I know it came later, but what I'm saying is they kind of changed the image of what it meant to be hip-hop. So, like, as far as I know, when they came in, it was a lot of that breakdancing scene, and there was a lot of
Yeah,
that.
it was very soft.
Yeah.
And they
then
came in really hard.
NWA came in like a car crash.
But the way it started was, it was more R&B. So if you look at the movie, like the breakdance movie, like, you know, song Ain't Nobody, and that was the sort of like, those days, they were the
worst.
hip hop tracks of those days,
yeah,
believe it or not.
Yeah.
Shaka Khan and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it morphed into Run DMC, It's Tricky,
Yep.
and LL Cool J came out, and Beastie Boys, that
Yep.
was huge.
Yep.
And then Public Enemy started
Yes.
coming, and I would say one of the biggest crossover tracks of that time that crossed over that
The Run DMC.
before, which was Walk This Way.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then a knockout after that was Push It, Salt and Pepper.
You think that was a crossover?
Big time. At that time, that was hip hop.
Yeah, wow.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
But it's not really, when you look at it now,
Yeah,
it's
no,
a dance
no,
track.
yeah,
But they were
yeah.
hip hop chicks, right?
Yeah.
But that broke down the wall of going really commercial.
Yeah. Wow.
And then NWA just flipped it. It was just like, nah, F the police and all these tracks that they did. Express yourself.
And that's where
So,
my love
you know,
for-
man, he's talking my vibe here. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Yeah, the message, man.
The message.
one of the
You know that
greatest-
song?
Of course, one of the greatest, like, original rap tracks.
So what is the first rap song?
That is like that. Oh, that is probably, I don't know, one of
what
the.
it was. That is the actual thing.
Yeah, the first rap song of all time, the first commercial rap song.
Yeah.
Because I heard you guys talking about it last week. And I made a couple of comments. The Rapper's Delight,
That's right. Rap's Delight. Yeah, see.
79.
Yeah. See, I like.
But the message is the first, like, really proper
Yeah.
rap song. Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah.
I love that song. I love that album. White Lines. I loved.
White Lines, yeah, it's a good track.
Yeah, it's a good track, man.
No, I was 90s.
great era,
like,
man.
My liking of hip hop starts in the 90s. The hip hop I like.
So did
the
you
rap
like
I
NWA when it...
I was a kid, so like I was older when I started to really listen to NWA, I would have been probably 12, 13. So they were like, they
But
were
the
gone.
record
Easy
is
was gone.
89,
Yeah,
90?
89 was the first one.
89, 90, 91,
Compton.
it was done. They were done by 91.
Yeah, but then like you had Tupac coming in, in the early 90s.
Do you know how he started, Tupac? You know, he's
Tupac was a background dancer.
for Digital Underground.
Digital Underground. That's
The
right.
Humpty Dance.
Humpty. That's right. So I'm a massive Pac fan, massive Tupac fan. So I really
One of the greatest artists.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I grew up like in that 90s hip hop, like that's what I listened to up until now I still listen to it, like religiously. And then as I got older, obviously I was into the music of then, so like the 2000s and all that. But I didn't really get into like the breakdancing thing. That's like a genre that I could never.
You would have been too young or not
Yeah,
born.
but it's not even that. But even when I like go back to it, like I can listen to the music, and I do listen to music from the 60s and 50s, and that's fine. I can't get into that breakdance.
You had to
vibe,
be
that
in it.
sound.
Axel F was the biggest track.
Yeah, like
You had to be like,
that's cool, but I won't listen to
you
it.
had to live the moment.
Yeah, and sometimes
You had to live
have
the moment. You had to be in that breakdancing era. Like
Beverly Hills Cop, mate. 84, and that's where it started with the Axel F. And then
Yeah.
What a movie, Beverly Hills Cop.
I didn't like the latest one. I thought it was very
I haven't even
average.
seen it.
It was okay, but I find when they redo these movies, or when they, 20 years later they do a movie, even The
done.
Godfather, like they did 1 and 2, which is probably the greatest mafia movies ever. 3 I like, but it just lost a little bit. It was 20 years later. It just
They're
kind of
not
lost a
doing
little
mafia
bit.
movies like they used to.
No,
The Irishman was the last
The
one that I
Irish-
saw was sick.
Yeah, it's,
I love The Irishman. There's a lot of people don't
It's on
like The
Netflix.
Irishman because they say, oh, it's too long and that.
It was
man,
too long for me.
I loved
I
it.
love that it's long. I miss that.
I loved
miss
it.
sitting there for 4 hours.
I loved it.
And
That's too
just
long.
being
What great
engrossed.
actors, man.
Yeah,
Just fantastic actors.
I like how
man.
they've gone from the making them look young and then
Yeah,
that was interesting.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
still see like De Niro's old. He's
Yeah.
supposed to be playing 20, but
Yeah.
they do a fairly good job of it. And even Joe Pesci, man, he's
underrated, man.
I was
One
gonna
of
say-
the most underrated
underrated?
actors.
I don't reckon he's underrated.
I think he's
well. If you
heavily
put him,
underrated.
if you talk about the greats, you always say De Niro, Al
Pacino,
Pacino.
exactly.
You also say people like
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando. Like everyone admires, all the actors admire Marlon Brando.
Gun, man.
I
But
think
Joe
he's
Pesci-
incredible.
He's kind of typecast into that one role, but to be so short and small, can I say short? Last time I said short, I got in trouble.
I know you did.
Why? Why can't
And
you?
you know what? Because you said short, we were copping it.
Yeah, I know. They thought it was you.
They thought it was us.
You can't say short.
People are soft
Okay.
cocks. Anyway.
Called someone short. But anyway, he is short, but
Yeah, he's a short ass.
Joe Pesci,
Joe Pesci. Yeah.
he's short.
He is, absolutely.
But he played such a demanding, like his role, was so enforcing as a like.
I like Casino. Casino for me.
Why?
Him in Casino.
Goodfellas for me.
Sick. But Goodfellas is.
Goodfellas for me.
I reckon it's the greatest gangster movie aside from Godfather.
We spoke about this. So Godfather's your favourite? You think that's number one?
Look,
I can't distinguish them.
Godfather. It's a killer. I like Scarface, man.
Yeah. So Scarface is my number one movie of all.
I like the 80s and the music.
Yeah.
And Michelle Pfeiffer.
Giorgio Moroder on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Those who don't know who that is, that's one of the greatest producers.
Absolutely. Wasn't he like one of the founding fathers
Of dance music.
of dance music?
So he did the first big dance track was "I Feel Love" by Donna Summer.
Yeah.
That was him.
Yeah. He's got a pretty introspective track on Daft Punk's album on Random Access Memories. It's called I think it's Giorgio by Moroder. That's what the track's called. And he narrates how he came up with dance music and the click. It's actually a pretty cool track. Should listen to it. It's actually incredible. Daft Punk. I'm a massive Daft Punk fan, by the way. Massive.
They're good.
Massive. I got to see them in 05 or 06 and I was just a kid. I was like 17, 18 years old.
Get Lucky in Arabic.
What do you mean?
I'll show you it. It's one of our big releases that we did.
Get Lucky?
So we did it with Nile Rodgers, which is...
Yeah, the guitar.
Yeah, I've got a funny story about that one with Daft Punk because he was finished at one stage. Do you know who Nile Rodgers is?
I've heard of him, yeah.
Nile Rodgers is part of the band called Chic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
The Freak Out, Good Times, all the... Anyway, and he produced Madonna Like a Virgin, Diana Ross Upside Down, David Bowie Let's Dance. He did...
Oh wow.
Big history, and then he just disappeared, right? And he was under Warner, and we was handling Warner in the Middle East, and they were going to book him for a gig at the Burj. It was like some shitty gig for $10,000. So I was in touch with him because he was going to come. I was like, fuck, this is Nile Rodgers. I love Nile Rodgers.
Legend.
Man, he'd call me. We'd be talking to each other. No one knows him. And then around about 2010, I'm talking to him. He goes, I got approached by Daft Punk. Oh man, that's great. That's so cool. He goes, I'm going to do some Bring Back the Funk. And he's back now. He did Get Lucky. And
Lose Yourself to Dance.
Yeah. But I mean, it's Get Lucky.
Get Lucky
is the track. That was
such
one
an
track,
amazing
man. Back.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you were talking about one track back. I mean, when Run DMC walk this way
Aerosmith,
with Aerosmith, that brought Aerosmith back because he was on a bit of a downer, and that when he brought out that song,
is that Steven Tyler?
Steve Tyler.
Steve Tyler.
Yeah. When Steve Tyler they were like looking at it, going, "Man, what are you doing? You're going to wreck your career here," And
it was already fucked, but the career was fucked.
Yes.
But that was Russell Simmons.
What a song, but
now he's got a link to the P Diddy thing too. So he's in Bali now.
Yeah, he's hiding out.
You know who did start as a musician and then become a great actor? Joe Pesci.
Musician?
He was a singer.
No, he was not. Joe Pesci.
You can look up his albums. He started as a singer and he started doing acting just to pay the bills.
Wow. You know who was an actor that has an incredible album? I'm being very generous when I say incredible.
Good album.
Eddie Murphy?
Steven Seagal.
Nah.
Steven Seagal.
No.
Steven Seagal sings with a Jamaican accent. No. I'm not even joking.
So let me tell you, because I'm behind the scenes.
What is this album called?
I look it up. I don't know, but watch.
Have you heard it?
I have. Have you not heard it?
Andy, these days.
I was joking. It's not a good album.
I make Rocco sound like Michael Jackson.
No. This was bad. This was a very bad album.
Oh, bad.
Yeah, I was joking.
Oh, okay.
But it is.
That's like, when the footy guys like Mark McClure does their thing.
That's a bit of fun and that, but that's funny.
He's got a song called Strut. That's him there. Like Steven Seagal. That's him. He's got a song called Strut.
What do you think about Steven Seagal as an actor?
I think he is one of the worst performers. You're talking about performances. I think he's one of the worst performances.
I love it.
But I love the movies. The movies are good.
He just goes like that.
And they drop.
Yeah.
What about Van Damme?
Oh, come on, bro. Van Damme's a legend. You speak to
that?
any Lebo.
You got us both excited.
that's how You know what Rocky
love
is.
his movies.
You know what
No, I
Rocky
love
is to
him.
Italians.
The Rocky for the Italians and Van Damme's for the Rebels.
Van Damme
love him.
is the we love him.
When he come out with what was that?
Bloodsport.
What a movie, bro.
When he was on that chair, mate.
Yeah, bro. You know,
And the nose is bleeding.
USA, okay.
was it kickboxer or I think it was kickboxer.
Kickboxer was next, yeah.
It was either kickboxer or bloodsport when he's smacking the tree. When he's just
I think
shinning
that's
the tree.
Kickboxer.
Kickboxer.
That's a kickboxer. That's a good movie too.
I'll finish watching that. I'm 8 years old with my dad. I'll go outside.
Start
I'll
kicking
go
the
to the
tree.
back of the thing. I've done one big kick on the tree. I
Don't you
dropped.
think that
Still
now
looks
when you
good
look
now,
at
mate.
it,
His machine.
you know, can I tell you something? Now, and this is another topic, but think about this. How much we were brainwashed in the 80s and 90s with the movies. Russia, America, Arabic terrorists, you know, all this sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Mate, fucking Hollywood, man.
Propaganda, bro.
Bad.
That's just a form of propaganda. Right there. We don't like the Russians. We're going to war with the Russians.
Yeah.
Let's make Russians the bad guys in every movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
and-
that's funny you were saying that. I was thinking about this because I knew you were coming. And where were you?
Oh, you asked me before about, about where I started. But
But now that you got onto that, we're going to go on to something different. You're just talking about the propaganda and maybe 9/11 and all that, you know, and then where were you when 9/11 happened?
I know exactly where I was. I remember where I was.
Were you here or were you Dubai?
It was on the plane.
No. Those bomb jokes are for you guys.
For us.
I was here. I was here.
Sure.
I was in Lebanon in August.
I had it. Sure you were.
How old were you at the time? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, 25.
Okay. So your experience would have been different to mine. How was your experience at that time?
I want to know exactly right, and I want to know, as a Muslim,
Yeah.
how was your experience? How were you treated? And how were you like? Because there was when that happened. I mean,
It was an instant sort of like against Arabs and Muslims, and even my Christian friends would have problems too because they're Lebanese. People just don't know that.
You're just Arab.
yeah, they don't.
You're just Arab.
Yeah, you're just Arab. You're one of them. But that was pretty bad. Yeah, it was bad at 2, 3, 4 months, and then it kept on going. But
Did anything ever happen where you were like
nah.
worried or scared or?
No, not like that. Then you just get to see it, that initial time where people look at you and go, yeah, but
But that's
I
a bit
don't-
worrying. That's a bit worrying too.
But
because-
I don't think I look Lebanese or Arab. I get
No.
told sometimes I look Italian or whatever, or Greek.
I reckon I look more bloody Arab than you.
Yeah, you
Like,
do.
I reckon
You
I
do.
can. I used to bloody. People used to look at me.
Yeah. For me, I copped it playing footy. So I'd like, and it wasn't because the season was over for us. I was playing junior footy, but it was the next year for me, where all of a sudden I'm getting called a terrorist on every fucking 20 minutes. I'm getting called a terrorist by
Can't
someone.
do that today.
You know?
No, you wouldn't be able to do that
Nah,
today.
but it was so normal. Man, I had parents call it like, well, I'm fucking 12 years old. You know what I mean? I'm 13 years old at the time.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm having full grown like
Yeah,
adults
yeah.
because I don't want to gas myself up, but I was a decent footballer.
Yeah.
So I'd cop it, like, I was copping it from when I was like real young, from parents and that. And my dad used to get into fights all the time with other parents because you know you're cursing at a little kid. But that
Yeah,
next
that's it.
year, so 202
Yeah.
was when like I started to really feel it personally, like, and then you know you get stuck by the cops, and you know the cops as you get older, you know, get your license in a few years after that.
Yeah.
And the cops aren't really fond of Arabs. And look, you know, as I didn't make life easy for the police either. I wasn't an angel, but they'd go out of their way, you know, and yeah, it
I don't
was
know.
a weird
I think
time.
it was a weird time, but I think it was like 2-3 years. Then
Yeah, it was all good.
and if you didn't focus on it, really, you didn't care because if people are going to be ignorant and think that you're all the same, I mean, that doesn't, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Hitler was it? What was Hitler? Hitler was Catholic or Christian?
Oh,
Catholic is a type of Christian.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay, so we don't say because Hitler did what he did.
Yeah, you don't.
that they're all bad. So
No, of course.
so yeah.
no, but what I'm saying is when you're living the moment, you might be saying that now.
I never really felt a lot of racism. I don't know, personally, I never did.
Yeah.
My wife used to.
Yeah.
A little bit. She did a little bit of an accent. She was from Lebanon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but she never wore a scarf or anything. So, no.
Interesting.
I think we forget like how bad it was at the time.
I think it was
Like
shocking.
when it happened, like you I think we kind of forget like how it was out there. Like really, it put that thing on all the Arabic looking people, and as you said, like just painting everyone with the same brush, and there was that thing, and then the propaganda, and I'm telling you,
look at the movies. Look at the movies they've made since where Arabs are all, the bad guys. And
The Mummy was around about that
The
time.
Mummy as well. Yeah, that was around that time. Yeah,
It's a good movie, by the way.
great movie. Yeah.
But the Egyptians and stuff that
yeah.
It was a weird time. It was a strange time. I was just real young. So like,
how old were you?
so in 01, I would have been 13. So like, I didn't really have an understanding.
88?
88. So I didn't really have an understanding of like the gravity of what had happened and like why. Like I understood why I was copping shit, but like I didn't like. I don't know. It didn't really like affect me.
So you would have been 7 at 95 grand final.
7 years old.
Do you remember it?
Nah. I remember seeing a lot of blue and white everywhere because it was
Okay.
Geelong.
You would have been
and,
too young, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what's weird? I remember everything from the 96 season onwards. Just that
Wow.
season, I can't remember anything. Like, if you ask me, who we played in
With
round.
memories are funny. Like it could be a false memory that, like you say, you remember some things of the 95. They could be like false memories
it could
because
just
you
be.
see videos and
Yeah.
that you make them into your own memory.
Yeah, maybe.
And you think they're your own memory,
But
and they're not.
I get him because 82 onwards is what I remember. That grand final. I don't remember 81 grand final. I was too young. 82 is when I started. Okay.
Well, I don't remember them either, really. Like I can't. I
remember watching 82 grand final with friends.
Yeah, I do too. I actually remember 82 because of
Streaker.
the streaker. Yeah.
Same.
And I remember being in the lounge room
Same.
and freaking out.
Do you remember when Elvis died?
I remember I was at my auntie's house and my mum was in hospital having my sister.
So you remember that? So
I
it would have been
definitely remember that. I remember when Lady died. I was in here.
Lady Di was 97.
Huh?
Yeah, it's not that. Yeah.
But still, they're moments you remember.
I know, but I'm talking about young.
I remember being 8 years old and knowing Tupac died. I was 8 years old, and I remember.
Was your dad into Tupac?
Nah. So I had a family friend who got me into, like, I remember listening. I snuck into his room. I chucked this CD on. It was just a random CD. I put it in, and it was Snoop. It was the song "What's My Name." It was a single for "What's My
Doggy
Name."
Style.
Yeah.
From the Doggy Style.
Yeah.
album, yeah.
And it was a CD single, and I put it in, and I remember that G-funk sound.
Yeah, it's great.
And I was like, "What is this?" Because up until that time, I was just listening to Michael Jackson.
Well, you've said two songs that I'm going to tell you. I've got the multi-tracks of that. What's My
Really?
Name? And I've got multi-tracks of Billie Jean.
Wow.
And I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
So
that's
you know what the
amazing.
multi-tracks are?
Yeah.
Individual symbols, bass by
That's
itself.
amazing.
Chords.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's it there.
I
Like,
promise you.
Crazy.
You'll get that.
I appreciate that. That's amazing. I was 8 years old. I remember Tupac died, and I just because I had heard. I remember making my dad buy me Against the World from Pipeworks, a dodgy copy of it.
Pipeworks.
Right, from Pipeworks. I think $5 I think they charged. My dad put it in his CD player. I was like, "No, Dad, don't play it." I remember because I was like a lot of bad words on it.
Yeah.
I'm 8 years old. My dad put it in, and obviously Tupac's doing his thing.
Well, I guess, can I just say, because we're saying about my book is, I put things in the book about, and when you read it, I relate it to Run DMC, Public Enemy, like you're doing it, because in a way, for me, it was about our struggles of being new immigrants in and being a little bit different than the Aussie kids and etc. So
Yeah.
that's what resonated with me. That's why I got into hip hop
Okay.
and R&B. So and rap. So I think that's similar. I think that
We had similar.
it's common that a lot of Lebanese people like Tupac. It's not. It's like
Yeah, I don't know many like Levos that don't like Tupac.
Yeah,
because we kind of like.
It's a struggles, man.
It's a struggle, yeah. That being coming from an immigrant family, you know all these like people who made money
Being ballsy, also because he's ballsy, we're
exactly.
balls.
Like you have to kind of.
It's linked to our culture. It's a lot, very linked to the
Is
culture.
Lebanese different to Italians?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like you're saying about well, you're saying about this culture, and I'm just thinking to myself, I
think
can't-
we have
I can't-
different cultures,
I can't
yeah.
relate, like what you're just saying is.
No, we have. I mean, we're similar, but we have.
There's always going to be similar. The Europeans, I do understand. We've got a similar family and all that.
Yeah.
But there also seems to be a difference too.
I think with Lebanese, kind of Middle Eastern as well, a lot of people shifted because of war.
Yeah.
Right. So like they come with a chip on their shoulder, and they come with. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of like anger deep rooted in us, right?
It's trauma.
And like, it's trauma, exactly. So like, you watch all the current events in the world now, and I got customers coming in, and they're like, oh, how is it? How is everyone? How normal is it?
It's very normal.
It's so normal for us that our
I
country is
get
getting
questions
bombed.
all the time. Is your family?
Well,
okay?
Yeah.
Well, that does make it different.
Yeah, because it's
It
like,
does make it different because we don't experience that. Like we don't really experience any of that in back in Italy. Like
yeah.
last time was World War II, and that was it. That was it. We don't.
Before this, it's just another like. This isn't new to the Middle Eastern people.
Yeah.
This isn't new. It's just now it's being broadcast for the wider population to watch.
No, but
and they're watching it in like live stream now.
Yeah.
That's a big difference as well.
Yeah.
No, but I know it's not nothing new, but it's the level of where it's at.
Oh, it's shocking. Yeah, it's shocking.
It's shocking.
Yeah, but
they're used to it. I mean,
yeah, this is what I mean. Like
they're clubbing in the clubs there.
Yeah, no, I know that people over there like live. A lot of them just live like bombs are going over. Like they get alerts and that, and they're still living a normal life. But I do understand that you kind of get used to, I suppose, what's around you and your environment and that. But
I think we're similar with Lebanese and Italians and Greeks, but the war part of it makes it
that's the big difference, I think.
and you always known it to be war.
I mean, there are periods where there's not war, but there's always conflict somewhere.
Yeah.
There's always
there was from 92 to 2005. It was fine.
yeah.
No war.
I was a kid. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's when Hariri took over.
Yeah.
It's no problem.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like there might
was
have
only
been
times.
times with no war, but
And then
look
from
at that.
75, which was the Civil War, till 92 was.
So like we've had a 10-year gap, pretty much. Like
And
in
now
between.
it's back again.
Now it's even worse.
Well, now it's
like
with
now
the
it's the
neighbours.
worst it's probably ever seen. Like
2006 was bad.
in Lebanon, I'm talking about like everywhere, like the entire thing that's happening now with Palestine.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about Lebanon.
Okay.
Lebanon was bad 2006.
Yeah. That was shocking. Yeah, like how many times has Lebanon had to rebuild? Countless times.
Yeah.
Beirut, the ports, the airports, homes, businesses. It's just, hey, but we always find a way to rebuild.
You always do, and I think societies, people always will find a way to rebuild and all. It's just
Yeah.
And I think that's got
It's
to
just
do with our
shocking.
culture of. I'm not saying all Lebanese, but in general, Lebanese they seem to be fighters, right? When I say let's just fight again. Fighters where they don't give up. You know, like, or we
Like we said before, we always find a way.
we find a way, which I've got in my book. I was telling him I've got an interesting story, if I can share with you also. In the new version, I put it in. But we always find a way, or look at different creative ways, because we had to go creative. You know, our parents had to, and so we learnt that instinctively.
Exactly, instinctively. That's the word. We're very instinctive in finding a path, finding a way
So
to a
Can I
meaning.
tell
me
you the
something.
story?
Yeah.
So this story I put in the book. I actually forgot it, and then a friend of mine was telling me, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to add it to the next re-edition. So in 2009 or 10, I was disenchanted with the EMI records. It was like, I don't know what happened. I wasn't happy with the CFO, and I was like, I need to change. And because I was a director of a major record label, it's not easy for me to go into the marketplace. The company would know it's not good for reputation. So I'm thinking, how the fuck am I going to find another job? And I wasn't ready to come back to Australia. So I was looking online and I seen this job, and it was like this company was just set up in Dubai, and Hey, look at the money. The money was amazing. I'm going, this is perfect. I'm thinking, what do I need to do? So I did something very creative. I put it in the book. I think it's in the chapter Crazy, where you got to think out the box. I called the company, spoke to the receptionist. I said, I'm the director at EMI Records. I want to talk to your MD. There might be an opportunity for us to work together. But the plan was to get the guy to come into my office and for me to interview him about the job that he's going to tell me about. That's what I did. So I got the guy to come in. I said, hey, you're doing this? Well, you should come into my office. He goes, yeah, sure. Came into my office. Now I'm acting like I did no clue that there's a job going. Tell me about the company. I'm already sizing him up, and I'm going,
nice.
and then he goes, by the way, I've got a position. Go, yeah, tell me about the position. What are you paying? Maybe I can help you find someone. And he started telling me about the job, and then after about 10, 15 minutes into the conversation, was like, that's not for me. So I didn't apply.
Lucky.
Well,
But it was a good move to get him in there.
It was to get him in there, and then, yeah. So that was the idea. So always you could try and find a different way. Call it Lebanese style.
Unreal.
Speaking of Lebanese.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of Lebanese.
Please.
Can we...
Oh, you want to?
Well, what do you got? Yeah,
Can
I'm a
we?
bit hungry.
You
But
hungry?
it's late.
All right.
That's
So
all
what
right,
we've
you can
done last week, we ate.
Lebo, bro.
No,
We eat any
I do
time.
not.
Last week we ate the durian. What do you think of that?
Horrid experience.
What's the durian? What is it?
Oh, bro. It's the worst thing you ever smell in your life.
Oh, don't do that to me.
It was honestly one of the worst experiences.
But this
Smell.
week,
Hey, it tastes all right.
yeah, I'll tell you, it tastes
taste
all
was
right.
fine.
It's a smell, and the one we got isn't at the bad. I said it's that bad that Asian countries they won't allow
I
it
heard you
inside
talking
the.
about it.
They won't allow it inside the hotel.
What do you
Yeah.
got?
In there?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I've got.
'Cause it
All
looks
right, so
like
what we're
salt
gonna do
vinegar
is-
chips.
No, salt
All right,
vinegar
let's go.
chips.
Go for it.
No. Let's...
What we're going to do is this time Andy has brought over some fruit, and we're going to have a bit of a munch.
Unlike you, Rocco, I'm not going to make you eat something.
I know you're actually
Something horrid.
being kind.
I am. Now, thanks to my beautiful mother, who... Oh, she's gone hard here, mate. I'll tell you what, she has gone hard. Now,
Did you bring cabernet?
I did bring cabernet.
Oh my god! Oh
There
my
you go.
god!
Right,
Wow!
now, for anyone
way.
watching at home, right?
Show the
No,
crowd.
I can't believe it.
Oh shit, we lost a radish, but that's it there. Right, now this is called cabernet. Now this is pretty much raw meat,
I love it.
but it's like made well. It's designed. It's
Made with love.
It's made with love, right?
We do the same. We've got
They call it the French do it steak tartare.
Right?
Tartare?
Yeah,
What else
it's
you got?
kind of like that. Yeah. So
Did you bring any sweets?
She's even done the
I don't have
radish.
but there we-
sweets. I don't have sweets, but I do have
Is that hummus?
some hummus.
Is that homemade hummus?
That's homemade hummus
Oh my god!
with the chili on top.
Let me smell.
The olives,
Oh,
the oil.
smell that.
The oil.
Is it chili hot?
Nah, it's just like there,
Oh,
just for
nice.
things. That's homemade hummus. We've also got. Let me just.
Is that did you do this trip because I'm coming?
We are going, mate.
Oh, I gotta have one. I gotta have one now.
You know what I mean.
Oh yeah, no,
Right.
I'm gonna have one of these.
You know what I mean. So
Oh my god!
I've got some radish, some cucumber, some onion,
nice.
spring onion here.
Oh,
Right, Mum went all out. Mum, if you're watching, I love you.
My God,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Miss. What's your mum's name?
Ruba.
Ruba. Thank you, Ruba. Mate, I will move this too.
Like that. And just to help us a little bit, got some tabbouleh.
oh my god!
Right, we've got some tabbouleh.
I know all this food. I know what to do.
You know, can I tell you?
All right, so look at that. That's
I
that's
haven't
what you
eaten
call.
past 10 o'clock for about
right.
2 years.
That's all right.
And today I'm going for it.
You must.
The question is here, is that the tabbouleh is this is the reason why they have
We need
tabbouleh
more
hummus.
forks or...
I've got plastic ones here for you, mate.
No, it's perfect. That's
Mate,
what we got.
we come on.
Oh, yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
I gotta try this.
Go hard. And if you want,
Hey Rock, can I have another?
got some bread. You gotta.
I've just got normal water.
Yeah, that's cool.
Or I've got
I've got some. The bread.
there we go.
Yeah.
Hardcore. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna try this tabbouleh, and I'm gonna tell you because
Yeah, try it. Might be a bit dry because of the
That's
car ride here,
okay,
and
that's
it's been
fine.
sitting there for a bit.
All right, we're
Yeah,
going
you
to
can tell when it's. You can
Yeah.
tell from the look.
Yeah. You know,
Oh, this is the thing.
I'll just sneak past you.
Most restaurants, and please tell me tell me you agree. They can't make tabbouleh like
Nah, they're the worst, bro.
They can't.
Restaurants are the worst with tabbouleh.
They can't
Even the
do it.
hummus, bro. It's like they use the canned one.
Yeah,
Like you can't. You need proper hectic, like
Right.
you know.
hectic. Love that word.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put some tabbouleh. This is amazing.
Go hard with the tabbouleh. I'm telling you, this is
I feel like I've got a treat here. This is great.
Mum went hard. Mum went absolutely hard for this.
You
I told her, listen, just make a little bit, yeah.
Did you tell her Rashid's coming?
I told her Rashid was coming. It's like Rashid, alla Rossi. So, yeah, nah, we're pretty excited.
Sorry, guys, you got no idea how good this is.
Oh, the tabbouleh is next level. I'm telling you, there's no restaurant can do it like that.
Absolutely, nah, I'm good with the tabbouleh.
You're not gonna have tabbouleh.
I'm not a big fan, bro.
Ab.
It's okay, but you know what I love it with?
Ab.
You know what I
Say
love it
astaghfirullah
with?
lazim,
You know
please.
what I love it with?
Please say astaghfirullah
You know what I
lazim.
love it with? I love it eating it with lettuce. You know,
Yeah, it's the best.
I can see that.
that's the one. That's the one.
I want a bit of kebab too.
Want some bread?
I'll have some bread, thanks, Rob.
I don't do bread.
Do you want half or
What
do you
kind of
want,
lebo are you?
No, because
do you want half or do you want a whole one? Or
I
I'll give
exercise and
half.
keep
Yeah,
fit.
oh, half.
I'm exercising and keeping fit, so
Thanks, mate. Are ya?
yeah.
How's that going?
Good. I've been going to the gym like 5 days a week.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So yeah, no, I'm not doing bread.
Not gonna stuff it up. Good on you, bro.
Yeah. Radish.
yeah, I'm gonna do
Do you
it.
eat much Lebanese food? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like Lebanese.
Where do you normally get your Lebanese food from?
So there's a place up here. I can't tell you the name, but there's this bakery just here in Reservoir, and she's a star, man. I think she's been on one of our shows when we did the Rockin' All Over the Bird.
Oh yeah.
She's a fantastic lady, man. So,
Oh, this is great. Rubes has outdone herself.
Oh, the hummus is next level.
My mum does good hummus, bro. I love it.
sorry, guys, there's not going to be much talking.
I reckon you should write a book.
Who?
You.
You got to live it. You got to live a life before you write a book. I hate people that write books and they're like 20 years old. Like, what are you doing, mate? Like,
What have you lived? I reckon you'd come up with something decent. No?
possibly, but I don't think I'm ready. Not now.
How long did it take you to write the book?
I put it now. I think I started in June 2021 and finished it in May 2024.
Well,
But I reckon if I focused on it, because when you write a book, it's like you're working on it every single day.
Yeah.
I've been working on it for like a week, and then I'm off it for a month.
Yeah.
So I reckon that book could have taken me 3 months to finish.
okay.
It
Yeah.
was easy to do because there were life stories.
And that's the thing. That's the best way. Look, I know just have my friend who just...
Is that water in your cup, Rocco? Is that an empty cup?
That's empty at the moment,
I'll
yeah.
tell you what you're going to have, mate.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what you're going to have. So, shout out to my cousin Jamil, who makes some homemade. This is
Raki?
called arak. Yeah, arak, raki, whatever you want to
What do you
call it.
call it? Do you call it like Italians call that, or you don't have it?
I suppose it'd be similar to the grappa we have, I suppose.
You know
It's
how
slightly
this shit
similar.
is?
It'd be very similar.
Yeah.
Do you know
So-
what you're having right now is a very, very traditional Lebanese.
Yeah, that's all I'm putting for you. You can add some water to that. Taste it straight.
It smells good.
This is very traditional Lebanese, by the way.
Pretty strong.
Oh,
Pretty strong.
that is strong. I think we will add some
Yeah,
water.
yeah. You add some water and watch how it turns.
Oh. That's got the bloody heartburn going.
I'll tell you
Do you
what.
know what alcohol level that is?
And look at that.
Nah, that would be like 120%, man.
It's pretty strong.
It's strong, man.
It's pretty strong.
Oh, what's the
Oh, look at it.
I don't know. It's homemade, bro.
It goes white.
Yeah, it goes
It's
right.
homemade, yeah?
Yeah. So you sip on that while you're having this. This is a traditional Lebanese meal. What you're doing right now?
It's the best.
Oh yeah.
If you're in Lebanon, in the mountains, this is what they have. Mm-hmm. And they live to 100.
You know what's funny? And Italian food's the same. And like, you know, Italian food, they call it peasant food.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
Majadra.
Mshadra, yeah.
Very simple. That's all it is. Because in war times, they had nothing. So they just make what they can out of what they had, you know. And now what's funny is, and they brought it, because Italian food really, the traditional Italian food is very simple. Like now, you get like pizzas, they add all this stuff. You don't get that in Italy.
Yeah.
Like it's very simple, you know. And it's funny because it's very simple food, you know. And then now, the Australians, they pay big money for it.
They do.
You know what I mean? For,
Yeah, yeah.
for
What
the
was it?
simplest food.
Like
Like
what?
for example, the bruschetta. You know bruschetta.
Yeah, bruschetta is the bread with the
Yeah.
tomato on top.
But the only reason we used to do that was because the bread got hard.
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't know what to do with it. So they used to put it in the oven, they used to put some oil and something, and you used to have a bruschetta, just so you wouldn't throw out the bread.
Yeah.
You only did two things with the bread. You ate it, and then you made it go hard,
That's
have
crazy.
bruschetta, or you make breadcrumbs.
That's
That were
crazy.
the things. Now, you go to a restaurant and it's a delicatessen.
Oh, you're paying 25
Yeah, you
bucks
pay
or something.
25 bucks for just una merda there, you know? And it's funny, we used to just, the same with, you know, now, like tripe. You go to a restaurant, it's like the delicacy part, it's one of the specials, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bruschetta?
Huh?
What was it? It's a
Tripe?
What's that?
Tripe.
What's that?
You don't know what tripe is? Tripe is like the stomach, the lining of the
Oh,
stomach.
yeah, I know. No good.
Rat poison, daughter of a S word, I'm not going to say. Italians eat cats apparently.
Where'd you get that from?
I don't know, that's what rat poison said.
Shut up, stupid. Rat poison, what would you know? You sound like you eat fucking canned food. You're a canny.
Anyway.
Yeah, well, like, I don't know, being Lebanese and sharing, you know, food with others, it's like a big thing for us. Like, you know, we love it. You know?
Italians like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's like,
A wok thing.
yeah, I think it's a really, like Wog mums, they love cooking. Like, you know.
And that's the thing. See, they love to cook and they love to feed their families. You know, it's very important to them, and it brings the family together. You
course
think
it does.
about it; it's always about a meal with
Of
us.
course.
I have to admit, going out with my girlfriend now, they're the similar.
Yeah?
Really?
Oh,
Ties?
Thais, man. They're more into food than what we are.
Really?
You got no idea how much they love their food and their cooking.
Are they generous with food too?
Oh, it's unbelievable. You can go to Thailand, right? You can go up to a house and they'd feed you. They'd welcome you in and
Wow.
you could eat with them.
That's crazy.
Like their food is much. I'm telling you, they're as much, maybe even more than what we are as far as food. Like my missus, unbelievable, man. It's all about food for her. It's all about food, cooking, working out, you know, new recipes, you know, like trying things. Oh, it's unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Here, just quietly.
Yeah, when I told my mum that, you know, we're going to do this, I told my mum, keep it small, don't do chunk. Just make the kebab and that's it. She rocked up with a box.
Oh, I love it.
You know what's
You
funny?
don't live with it? You live alone?
I live alone.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, right? What are we doing? Wars? Why is everyone arguing? You know what I mean? We're on a bit of land here.
Look how good we are. Look,
You know,
we have it here.
and we just eat and we just fucking. What is everyone arguing about? And you know, I find that, you know, they say when astronauts go into space and they look down onto the planet,
Yeah.
they get this like spiritual experience where they think, you know, like, what are we doing? Like, what's everyone arguing about? Like, we're all arguing over this little bit of land here, man. Like, when we could all be just sitting down and doing this kind of stuff, you know?
Well, it's funny you say that. When I was like when I was younger, I used to stress heaps, man. I used to stress. I was so stressed about everything, anything. Things will get to me. I take things personally. It wasn't until, and like, excuse my wording for this, right? And wasn't until I realized just how insignificant we are. You know, like we're significant to the people around us.
Yeah.
You know, and to our community. But in the grand scheme of things, nothing matters. You know? And it wasn't until I got my head around that concept,
Yep.
where I became almost a nihilist. Right? Almost like nihilism. Like, almost. And it's like, you just live better, I feel. Like, once you realise that none of this shit matters.
You know, we try to do that with the change room. You know, which is probably a good segue to the change room.
Yeah.
What we're doing on Thursdays, but
Great show, by the way.
yeah, you like it?
It's one of my favourites. I've said it 100 times. I'll say it 100 more.
I'm glad. We had Rocco on there last week.
I thought. Got
It was good. But we're finishing up. For those who don't know, we're finishing up. We're going to take a break.
Yep. You'll be back, though.
Yeah, we're going to be back. Yeah, of course. But fresher. It takes a lot of work to do, and topics for the week. Although Sam's got another 12 topics ready to go. And he's good value. Sam's really on it.
Yeah.
But we're going to take a break. I don't know if we actually announced it. Did we announce it last week?
You said you might, so there you go. Like, it's up to you. As I said, man, if you want to continue or if you want to take a break, we understand, like, taking a break. Like, that's why I take a break from the jumper punch and that too. Like, it just gets too much, you know.
We want to be fresh for the next year. You know, we might do occasional...
And this is why I like this show, because it's completely different. We're just here, we're just having a chat, you know. I don't...
Eating at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, we're eating.
You know what I mean?
You're making me do that.
This is superb, guys. Well, while you're there, I was talking about thing. I'll put something onto you, right, while we're talking.
Yeah.
Do you believe in aliens? Do you believe aliens have visited our planet?
No.
You don't think they've ever visited our planet?
No. I don't. That doesn't mean that... No, I don't think so. No, I think... no.
I'm on the fence.
For thousands of years, you never had aliens. Thousands. Why is it not mentioned in the Bible?
Because the Bible's written by sheep herders.
Yes.
The Bible was written by people who thought the Earth was flat.
But Earth could be flat too.
Now, let's get into that. So you believe the Earth is flat?
No. I didn't say I believe. I have no. I'm just saying that there's a possibility it could be flat too.
No, it can't.
Why?
There's no possibility. Zero.
Why?
Zero, because all the proof shows that...
Last week you told me that you are not tied down to any one ideology.
That one there, I can't agree on. Sorry, I can't agree.
Have a look at some of the theories of what people talk about the flat.
What flat? Every planet, every sun is round except for ours. Every single one. You could look at a telescope right now and you can see every planet.
How do we know that?
So what are you looking at?
I don't know. You've told me that that's a planet.
But you can get a telescope and look at yourself.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. I think the world is round. Like, I'm just going to put it out there. I think the world is round.
Ridiculous. Flat earthers, seriously, are the worst kind of people there are.
So you're talking about the sheep herders in BC, before Christ, right?
Yeah.
But look at the technology they had to build the pyramids.
Well, that's another thing. Like, that's another thing about the pyramids. No one really knows how they were built and that, but I don't know. But
so no, what I'm saying, all that literature that came out throughout.
Well, if you look at it, sometimes there are things that are written down that could go to being aliens, giving us intelligence. Look, what I believe is that definitely aliens out there. 100%.
Okay.
Did they visit us? They could, they couldn't. I'm not sure about that until I get some hard evidence.
Aliens or angels?
No, aliens.
Could be angels.
What's an angel?
An angel is a spirit that's
What's a spirit?
that's around you.
What's a spirit?
But what I'm saying is what you can't see.
No, you're
We're
just
gonna
making up
deep,
words there.
right?
You said an angel is a spirit. I'm asking you, what is a spirit?
Spirit is an energy,
So spirit's an energy.
isn't it?
Is it? I'm
I don't know. I don't know.
You understand that?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Is it
then
like an energy? It's a spirit. It's an
It's
energy.
an energy. So is electricity a spirit?
I think there's different kinds of energies. Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
You don't believe in ghosts?
No. This is funny, you know, when you talk about like spirits and energy and spirituality and all this kind of shit.
Allergy.
Spirituality.
Spirituality.
Yeah.
When you say all these things, right, you don't know what you're talking about.
Why?
Because what is it?
I might know what
A spirit
it feels
is
like,
an
but I
energy.
don't know maybe how to explain it.
Is an entity. It's an entity. A spirit is an entity.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm describing what I think it is.
It's
Yeah.
invisible.
What's invisible? How do you, if it's invisible, how do you know it's there?
How do you know your Wi-Fi works? You can't see it.
But you can see it.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
How can you see the Wi-Fi?
Because you can see what it does. It's like saying you can't see electricity, but you can see what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
look what spirit does.
What?
does.
Spirit fucking.
No, well, it gives you indications
okay.
of where to go.
All right, hang on a sec. I'm big at meditating.
Yeah,
Massive
meditating.
meditator.
Yeah, I don't mind the meditating.
I've felt things. I've felt many things while I've meditated.
Yeah.
Where I've like felt an out of body experience. I felt like
Yep.
like a spiritual connection with something.
What's a spiritual
Right.
connection? See,
Well-
this is what I don't get. The
Yeah,
spiritual.
all right, let me describe what I felt. So what I felt was it's really hard to describe because so what I felt was something almost entering me, right? Like almost entering like my space and kind of speaking to me without speaking, right?
Yeah.
And that was completely sober, just meditating. There wasn't like, you know, a psychedelic. It was an experience. And that's what kind of strengthens my belief in God, right? Like having moments like that, having prayers answered, having.
But could that be just a chemical thing happening in your brain?
Could be.
So
But-
then how do you differentiate?
Well, that's what faith is, yeah? Like believing in something that you can't see.
It's like God. Have you seen God?
He's an
Yeah,
atheist.
no, but the point
Yeah,
is,
it is.
with faith, see, the word faith is only a religious thing, right? Because it's used nowhere else. Faith is used nowhere else, right?
George Michael used to.
You got to have faith. You got to believe too. But what I'm saying is, with faith, you only use the word not you. When I say
Yeah,
you,
I
I mean
know,
people
in
only
general.
use the word faith when they have no evidence.
I disagree.
No, but
Well, tell me one
but that's
thing
what faith
other than
means.
that you
No,
use
hold on.
faith on.
That's what faith means. Faith is having faith in something without the evidence.
Yeah, so how can you have something without evidence?
But then you're
How can you believe in something with no evidence?
So that's if you're what do they call it, agnostic, and then you got the scientific way that you need to.
No, there's no scientific. There's another thing about scientific
so as a
way that
Christian-
kind of gets me. The scientific way, everyone's got. There's no scientific way, right? Science is science.
Yeah.
Science is science. If we start again, science will always be there, and it'll always be the same.
No,
Every single time.
science has been wrong.
No.
Yep.
No, when I say no,
Yeah.
I meant science never says that it's 100% right. Never said that. Has never said that in anything. What science says is
Probability.
No, what science says is with the information we have now, right, and with the experiments and everything
Yes,
we've
the
done
probability,
now,
the
right?
probability of this is being whatever. Yes.
No, what we have now, this is what we believe. But science is never concrete on anything. Zero. Religion is.
Yep.
Religion says no, this is the way it is.
Yep.
Science will change. Science changed how old the Earth is. It's gone from 5 billion years to 10 billion years to 13. Now they're saying it's 22 billion years could possibly be. So they're always happy to change once they get the new information.
Correct.
So science, not that they've been wrong, right? That was the best they knew for what the information they knew at the time, right?
Okay.
They learn more and then they change.
Yep.
Religion will never change.
Good.
This is like a typical Lebanese conversation. Now
Yeah,
we've gone
yeah,
into
yeah.
religion, now we're going to go into
Politics.
politics.
Yeah, he doesn't like politics. We're not allowed to talk about politics.
No, we can't talk about politics.
We're just missing the politics.
I don't know a lot about politics.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, all right. So I'll tell you the way I live my life.
Yeah.
Right, the way I live my life. I'm not the best Christian. All right, I don't claim to be a great Christian.
Of course.
But I try to live my life as if there is a God. Right. So I'd rather live my life like there is a God and then be wrong, instead of living my life that there is no God and be wrong. You know what I mean?
Why?
Because I if there is eternal life, which I believe there is, then I want to be on the right side of it.
But just say you're on the wrong side of it now because you've chosen one particular path to go, yeah?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So you just happen to pick that path because your surroundings, that's why
Yep.
the path,
Yeah, we
right?
lost an audience. Are they still watching?
Yeah, no, we've still got the 40 with it. We've
Yeah.
been about the same the
Been
whole
about
time.
that, yeah.
All right, cool.
So if you... I've now lost my train of thought there. So you believe in one path, right? You believe in this path, right? Why don't you believe in the other path? For example, the Muslim religion or their gods or their hell. Why don't you believe in their ones?
Because-
What if they're the right ones?
Hey, what if they are? But
So all you've done is you've thrown your dice just on this one here.
But
I think there's more to it. Like I've done readings. I've read. I've connected with that. Yes, it was
Yep.
the religion that I had grown up with.
Yeah.
But I've read other books as well.
But
right?
there's not
And
much of a difference between
No, there
Christianity
actually
and
isn't.
Islam. Oh,
There actually
There is a lot.
no, there isn't.
There
It's not
is.
that much. I'm telling you.
There is.
All right, tell me. Give me one thing.
There is a difference. Well, first of all,
drinking and that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus is a big difference. He's not their God.
No, but I mean,
He's a Messiah.
Yeah.
so in
There
the,
is a big difference.
but in the teachings, right? In the actual teachings,
Isn't that? Yeah, but
Like-
that for me. That's an interpretation difference.
Well, isn't that strange in itself?
But it's always going to have a different interpretation.
Why? It's
Well, why are we all
the
Jewish?
writings of the ultimate creator. Why should there be an interpretation?
Because what happened was the Islam came in, which is a writing after that one. So that's what we believe.
Yeah, but shouldn't the original writings, there should be no interpretation.
well-
Why is there like 1,000 different denominations of the Christian
to
faith?
answer
There's only one Quran.
to answer
Hasn't
your
changed.
to answer your thing, why are you allowed to believe that science has changed with the evidence they've got? Like Muslims, Islamics,
Yeah.
Muslims
Muslim.
have in their belief they have new information, they have a new message,
Yeah.
so they follow that. So
What's the new message?
I don't know. I'm
It's
not
like
Muslim.
first-
Well, what about
Testament?
you know about Christians, right? Because that's what you follow.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying with science, no. But with science, it's not a religion. First of all, science is just science. Like everything around you is science. We wouldn't be on this.
Yeah, yeah.
We wouldn't be
Yeah.
transmitting without science. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
science is science. And what I'm saying with science is they give you the best theory for the moment with the information they have. The Bible does not change.
That's
But the Bible's not telling you
But the interpretation of the Bible has changed.
But that's only. But
And even the correct, like
it doesn't. It doesn't change the interpretation. It's only changed by people who change it.
That's right.
Well, who changes
Right.
science?
Hey.
Who changes science? People
Facts.
who are able to. Yeah, but who understands those things as fact?
Yeah, but we learn a fact. For example, we'll learn that the Earth is,
It's the
for
same thing. It's
example,
like a revelation of
Exactly.
we learn like with science.
You've described a religion.
It's not a religion.
It's not a religion.
No.
But everything you've described is the founding of a religion.
How?
Because there's been information relayed,
Yeah.
and there are these
But
people.
we don't follow a Messiah. We don't follow a God. See, there's the difference. You're following. You're following like it doesn't matter if it's Catholic or Muslim or Buddha or I mean Thor used to be the god, you know what I mean? So he used to be a god, you know, and he was a god for thousands of years, you know. So now he's a cartoon character, you know.
Yeah.
So how's that, you know? But what I'm saying, we don't follow that. All I'm saying is, as far as I don't follow religion, but what I do with science is, they give me their information. I trust that they've done because the right people are studying that information.
Yeah.
They tell me then with this information they've worked out this sort of, you know, they've worked out the age of the rocks, bada bing, bada boom, and the Earth. I'm just giving you the age of the Earth as an example.
Yeah.
Or the theory of gravity, for example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've done their experiments. They've done it, and this is what they've come up with. Tomorrow, if they come up with something new like dark matter or dark energy, which they've kind of discovered, like at one stage they thought that universe was stagnant, wasn't moving. You know, does that mean they
Stagnant.
were wrong?
stagnant. Yeah.
All that meant was that's what they understood. And then Hubble come along and he saw that the universe was expanding. So then they changed it and said, no, now the universe is expanding because we've learnt more.
So what?
Right?
So I don't. I'm like I get what you're saying, but I don't understand. Where's your beef with religion?
No, there is no beef.
Then why is it wrong?
It's not wrong. He's not saying it's
I've
wrong.
never said it was wrong.
I'm just trying to understand. Like
He's
why?
never
Never said it was wrong.
perspective. That's giving
I
perspective.
actually like, I find out like when, for example, it all started because he said spirits. And I just want to know what a spirit is.
It's an entity that you can't see.
Well,
that's
but
good.
and then my question to follow up in that is, so if it's something you can't see, how can you say it's there?
Well, a lot of people say they feel
But then what are you feeling?
a spirit.
But hold on.
See-
When you're saying what you can't see the waves that are going through the internet.
But you could see what it does. It's like saying you
yeah,
can't.
but that's the same thing.
Yeah, but that's the
it's
thing.
not.
Yeah, but you can see like this
I
person.
can't see the spirit.
No,
but
it's not, because you're saying it's a feeling. But I can say this to you: is it all? Could it be chemicals in your brain that's giving you that feeling?
It could be, but
Right,
but,
so-
but I also have the right to be wrong as well.
No, you've
So-
got the
so-
right. But what I'm
you know what I
saying is, if you're saying it's a spirit, what you've done is you've gone bang, it's a spirit.
Yep.
Like for example, I'll give you one. People could see an unidentified flying object, yeah,
They think it's alien.
straight away.
Yeah.
Why?
I can tell you why.
Why? Why do you
I'll tell you
straight
why.
away? Same thing. You see like a bump in the night, right? And they go, it's a ghost, right? It was a ghost, right? It
you
was
know
a
why?
spirit. Wait a sec. You say it's a spirit.
Well, you ask
My
them why.
point is this, right? When you say it's like a spirit, I go, could it be a chemical in your brain that's giving you that reaction? And you go, yes. So now you've got two possibilities, right? So why have you got straight to that? If you don't know, if you've got two possibilities and you don't know what they are, why would you go one way? There would be a reason for you to go one way.
Because I've got that belief that in God, in whoever I pray to, whoever we pray to, right? So,
But you can't
Differentiate.
Yeah, I can't even say that word.
That's
You
okay.
can't differentiate between the two, can you?
between the two, what?
So you can't.
No, I'm telling you that it is a possibility.
Yeah.
That it is a thing. I'm not going to close my mind to that.
Yeah.
But I'm choosing to believe. I'm choosing to have faith.
You can choose to have
Rocco,
faith.
Rocco,
Yes.
his map of the world, the way he sees it, and his belief system is that what it. And when you say, "Why do you think a ghost?" and you think that it's got to do with our own programming, so that's why we automatically think this.
Right.
That's correct. So it doesn't mean it's right or wrong.
No one said it was right or wrong. But why make a decision
because
because
I've
when you don't know?
But I do know. I believe. That's where my faith comes in.
No, but you got faith,
Yeah.
but you don't know.
No, but I do know.
No, but technically you don't. You
No,
will
you
never
don't.
know 100%. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
My faith is that strong that I know. And like I said, I'd rather live
And a lot
knowing
of
I've
people
got this
do.
strong faith. I'd rather live like there's God, and be like, if I'm wrong, then what have I missed out on?
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to go soon too.
That's all right.
That's all right.
I need to go bathroom.
You can go, bro.
All right.
Take off your mic, because then we'll hear everything.
Oh yeah, shit.
Then we'll hear everything you say. Everything you do. Just put that there for now.
I'll be back.
No worries.
And a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And that's what religion is.
But like the thing is, by believing in the religion I believe in, I'm not missing out on anything. It's not like I've stopped living life. It's not like I'm still having a drink. I'm still, doing this. So my belief system doesn't necessarily stop me from doing anything I want to do. Right? Like I don't like all it does really is just give me like a bit of grounding. That's all it does. And gives me just a belief that things are greater than me. That's ultimately what it is. That there are greater things than me in the world.
And I believe there's greater things than me in the world too. And
Yeah.
I believe there's greater things than me in the universe.
Yep.
And I believe there could be, and there possibly is, something greater than everything we understand.
Maybe.
Right? Because it's just too big and expand that we, like, how can we even understand this, right? Like, to me, the question of time, how can time have begun? Because what would be before time? And so does that mean time has always been there?
Well,
How can that be?
That's where the Big Bang Theory comes in.
But the Big Bang
that's
Theory
where-
only tells you from the Big Bang Theory. It doesn't
Yeah,
tell you what's before
what came
that.
before it, yeah.
Right, so we don't know what's before that. So we don't know
Yeah.
what's going on at that point. But I believe that too. But what I won't do, right, I'll leave my mind open and I won't go in one direction and say, right, this is it, until you give me 100% proof of it. And at this point, I've had no proof on any of it.
And that's fair.
That's where I stand.
I've got like my own experiences where you might call it a chemical thing, but I've had my own experiences where I've felt.
But apart from those own experiences, right? How can I put this, right? Because you can't give personal experiences as proof.
Why?
But you can't.
But that's why I believe so much.
I understand, but they can't be proof.
But I'm not sitting here trying to convert people.
No.
Like, you know what I mean?
No, I'm not
like
trying
you
to
believe
convert
in what
you.
you want. No, but
as I'm having this discussion with you, what I'm saying is, when someone's telling you something, you can't. A personal belief can't be proof because it's a personal experience, and a personal experience can be in many forms. You know what I mean? So it can be a chemical. You could be hearing voices. There are plenty of schizophrenic people out there that hear voices. So we can't. So if you say, apart from that, what would be your reason for believing?
So the reason, like, all right, so I was born into a Christian family, and then in my like early years, I wasn't really into religion, like whatever, I had a few things happen in my life where
Everyone's getting someone to know about this. Everyone's getting something out of this.
I'll tell you what, they're punching on in the chat.
That's good.
I had a few experiences in my life where things could have, I could have
gone
done
one way.
Yeah, I could have gone one way, right? And something, don't know what it was. You don't like the word divine intervention, I'm assuming, right?
No.
Yeah, but something pulled me into a different direction, right? And I began a journey, for me, yes, born into a Christian family, all that, but I didn't really call
That's
myself a
definitely
Christian.
the start.
Absolutely, but I didn't really call myself a Christian until I got a bit older and I read into my own religion, started, I wouldn't call it researching, but reading up on other belief systems as well.
Yep.
And maybe it was because it's just comfortable for me because I was raised in it, but I found my comfort in, being Orthodox Christian. And for me, I'll just always go back to it. Whenever I've even had self-doubt, right? Whenever I've had doubt, I've just always gone back to what I said before, where I'd rather live my life, and this is a conversation I had with myself, right? I'd rather live my life as if there is a God, and you know, if I'm wrong, then I haven't missed out on anything. I've still lived the life I've wanted, rather than live a life as if there isn't a God and being wrong then. You know what I mean? That's just how I choose to live my life. Right.
So there is I forget now. The word has left me here.
It's escaped you.
It's escaped me, but there is a word for that, which is there is a thing for that where they say, I'd rather if I believe it and I go to heaven, then good, and then if I'm wrong and I don't go to heaven, I haven't lost anything. You know.
Yeah.
What's it called? If someone
I don't get why that bothers people. A lot of people are bothered by that, and I'm not talking about you. Just people I've had similar conversations with, it really irks them. But if we're so into like, and these are the same people that are very into freedom of speech, freedom of life, it just shows that we're all a bit, you know, live how you want. But if you're a bit different to me, it's just that I'm going to look at you a bit differently.
Well, I think that's human nature.
Exactly.
But human nature, I don't think
we all contradict ourselves.
Well, I think we all want to be like. We all think that our way is the best.
Yeah,
of course. We're all going to be like that. Our footy team's the best, you know.
It is.
Like our wife's the best. Well, not necessarily at times, but you know, our doctor's the best. You know, it's always our way is the best. I do understand that. Well, you live like that. The way I live is I like to know as many true things as possible and as little false things as possible. Right? So I won't just jump into something if I don't believe it's true. Look, you've got to give me proof that it's true. I just can't go on a wing on me. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. You know what I mean? And also, like, with the Bible and that, like, how many people have really read the Bible? All of it?
Most of it.
Yeah. And what do you think about it? Like, do you believe that it's all literally true?
Yes.
You believe Noah's Ark is true?
Yep.
You believe that you believe that the Earth is 6,000 years old?
I believe in all that. Yeah, absolutely.
So you believe that the Earth is 6,000 years, even though there's definite proof that there's 13 billion years.
Who cares if I'm wrong?
No. Well,
no, but
if you
science could be wrong too.
Well, it's not 6,000. I'll tell you now.
Science could be wrong. They were wrong
But
about
it's not
COVID.
6,000.
They were wrong about COVID.
Yeah.
Come on, come on.
Well, COVID,
We're going there.
We'll go into
there.
next. We'll go into next week. But it's not 6,000, Rash. That's just ridiculous.
Guys, I've got to leave, man, to get home. I've got to go in a couple of minutes. So
Done.
You guys, I hope you don't mind.
We just got firing up, man. Just got firing up.
It's got serious.
Yeah. No, well, this is why it's called Unfiltered.
No, it's good. It's good.
So that's interesting that you believe it literally. So
it's that unwavering faith. That's what he has, unwavering faith.
But then you've got to look at something. So you believe there was Adam and Eve?
Yep.
So you don't believe in evolution?
Nope.
Really? Even though there's 100% proof of that. With your DNA, there's 100% proof. With your there's all the
I'll find
fossils.
everything out. The way I look at it, I'll find all this out on my day of judgment, if there is one, right? I believe there will be one.
Don't you want to?
I'm open to ideas. I love listening to the ideas.
Yeah.
But I don't have to believe in it.
No, of course you don't have to believe in it.
So like it's like that's a cool story. Yeah, like, you know, all right, man. They don't know who built the pyramids, this, that, like all those. The Earth is however many billion years old. That's cool.
That's interesting.
They can, you know, they can live however they want. But like, I choose to live my life at like there's God, and I try to treat people like there is a God. You know what I mean? And I think that's like, for me, it's just it's a basic. It's just a basic thing for me. Like I don't.
But if you were born in China with Chinese parents, you wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be Christian.
No,
that's right.
So
that's the thing.
But and which is why, like, for me, like I don't judge. Like, you know, in the hopes that I'm not judged.
No, and I don't judge you either. I don't think I judge. And you know, like my missus is a Buddhist. And I've got friends who are Muslim and that. And I love having these discussions because I love to hear, you know, why you've come up to that conclusion. You know what I mean? That's what interests me more. Yeah. It's not about the religion. It's about what gets you that point and why you believe such things. You know what I mean? So it's interesting that you say that you believe in that Adam and Eve was a first, which is almost impossible.
Almost.
Yeah, it's almost impossible.
You said almost.
Well, I think it's completely impossible because with the proof of because it's proven in DNA there's evolution. You know what I mean? So you could prove we go back so far and we can see common ancestors and that. So we have come from apes. Like I know people say.
Who said Adam and Eve were like? I don't know, bro. Like the way I look at it is like believe in what you want.
Yeah, because you believe you
like believe in what you want. As long as you're not like disrespecting, which you have. I'm not saying you have.
No,
right?
I try not to be.
No.
I try to be very, very like curious.
Yeah,
I'm very curious about that.
I think religion also is a comfort to some people as well.
And that's one thing that it's got.
And it's belief.
It's got one thing that it's comfort. Yeah.
Yeah, you have so much belief in something that it can bring comfort to you. It can also give you strength. Right, strength that and again, you won't believe that. You'll think it's just chemical, you know, like. But
no, it can bring it because what you're saying is it brings it brings people together. You got a community, you know what I mean. You got a belief. I believe in all that.
Yeah,
I believe a secular thing can do exactly the same thing. There's nothing religion can do that a secular thing can't do. Nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing it can do. You can still get community. You can still they can still do good things.
Absolutely.
They can still and. Again, we believe in so many other things the same. You know what I mean? Like we believe in so many other things. There's just one thing that, you know, we go in different ways, you know what I mean? But it's just interesting, you know, like
my biggest thing and like my only gripe with this topic is how disrespectful people can get. Right? And again, I'm not saying you, but like people in general, if you're going to have this conversation, you can't sit there and just degrade somebody's belief.
Nah.
And again, I'm not saying you were doing it.
I hope not. If I was, let me know. I wasn't degrading.
No. But I've had these conversations with people who are just like, nah, religion is this, religion's that, and all religion is this, and that's not like. It's like you can't converse with someone like that who's so like.
Well, you should stop the conversation with that.
Like that's disrespectful already. Like
I'm stopping the conversation.
You know,
I need to go. Guys, thanks for having me. Yeah, no, it's good. Thanks for allowing me to become the first guest.
Good, yeah.
Been a pleasure.
Thanks, my man.
Catch up.
Great talk of music.
Always.
My man, Rocco.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. We'll be finishing up too soon. So
yeah, I reckon.
I'll just grab my stuff.
Done.
Thanks for coming.
To reading the new edition.
Yeah. Well.
A new release.
Yeah.
Keen.
Yeah. There's a couple of new stories in there, and yeah. It's actually selling pretty good.
Good.
Yeah. So I've had a lot of support from our Carlton community, Rock.
Yeah. No. I think our community, our little community, is a great little community, and I think we support each other in many ways.
I love the Carlton community. It's great.
Not only in like this sort of stuff, live shows, and you know, like the Monday Blue. And all sorts of stuff, you know. Everyone gets together.
An awesome show.
Thanks,
love
man.
That show.
We try
because they got awesome people.
Adios, amigos.
Thanks, my friend.
Thanks, Rash.
Everyone say bye to Rash.
I'll speak to you.
Break your legs.
Yeah, it's such a touchy topic.
Can you close that door?
Yeah.
I'll be watching you guys in the car.
Yeah, all right. Oh, don't do that. It is a touchy topic, and you know what? This is why this is called Unfiltered, right? And it can be a touchy topic, right? It can be very touchy because what I found with me is if I don't have these discussions unless someone wants to have a discussion with me, and then I'll give you my point of view, right? The thing about these discussions is that that I've noticed if I say something, a lot of religious people will dig their claws in even more. without being open-minded. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to be open-minded, but they're not.
Yeah.
But I understand why. When you believe in something, when you have faith and all that, if someone challenges your ideas, naturally you dig in to say, no.
Yeah, of course.
No, that's wrong. And if people do that, we're not going to get anywhere.
No,
we're not going to get
You've got
anywhere.
to have an open dialogue.
So we've got to have an open
It's got to
dialogue.
be respectful both ways. And I feel like I'm just reading through the chat, and I feel like a couple of people are.
Not being disrespectful.
No, a couple of people are just going pretty hard.
That was going to happen.
But-
That was going to happen always. But
Yeah.
that was always going to happen. But
Yeah.
either one way or the other, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
So that was going to happen. That's fine. Let the chat do what it's got to do. And I completely respect. As I said, mate, like I've got probably more people I know are religious than not religious. As
Yeah.
I said, my girlfriend, mate, she sometimes sits in bed next to me while I'm sleeping. She does a whole prayer
Yeah.
while I'm, but the bed's moving as she's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
up
yeah.
and down praying. So, mate, I go to Thailand. I get blessed by more monks than I do when I come here. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
happy
yeah.
to go out there and do as the Romans do. You know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm happy to do it. But look, these chats are very interesting
are.
to have, you know. So it's
they are.
interesting to know where your mind's at, you know what I mean? Where how you come to that conclusion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you say like things like, I'll say another thing. You say like, how does it affect anyone? You know what I mean? I believe religion does affect the community and society, and it can affect it in an unpositive way.
Yeah, I think if it enters politics.
I was just going to go there. If it enters politics, I
Yeah.
mean, their beliefs can change.
Yeah.
Can change like
course.
how do you say? It can change
Freedoms.
legislation.
It can change freedoms.
And it does, and it has, and it has. And I
Yeah.
mean, the gay ones are one of the gay marriages and that. I mean, really, that's through religion. That's no other reason, you know. And then you say, how does it? It doesn't affect anyone. Why do you care? But it can affect people if it does get involved
if it's
into that.
Yeah, if it's involved.
And unfortunately, it does get into politics.
Yeah.
Because people have got their beliefs in there, you know. So
No, I think we need more God. I think we need more God in. But I get what you're saying.
Sometimes.
I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
yeah,
It's a weird. Life's weird. Okay, life's fucking weird, you know. And I think
no one's got the answers.
no, and I think
This is the problem. No one's got the answers, and you know, like we're all just living on this big rock, and it's not flat. I don't care what anyone
No, I don't
says.
think it's flat.
It's
No.
not flat. It's round. You know what I mean? And it's you know, like, and everyone's living on this rock, trying to just work it out and just trying to get through day to day. You know, that's what's happening. You know, so
yeah. The chat was going off.
I think there was, man. I didn't get to read it, but I reckon it was going pretty off, man. So I think everyone we got into like something there that's fair enough. I'm happy to go into that. But as long as you said, as long as you're respectful.
Yeah. I think as long as there's two willing participants in the conversation.
Of course.
Right, because a lot of the times these conversations, like I know I've been like thrusted into these conversations, and it's like sometimes I just can't be bothered.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
you
the
know what I
same
mean?
too.
Like
I'm the same
sometimes I'm
too.
just like, bro, like just believe what you want. Like I don't.
Yeah,
care.
no, I'm the same too.
You know,
I'm
and
the
this
same
isn't
too.
just like, you know, speaking to an atheist. This is speaking to someone of a different religion to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes of the same
Of
religion to
course.
me.
Well, the same religion, a lot of times have
Yeah.
disputes and
Yeah, of
arguments.
course.
You know what I mean? They over the same verse can argue about
Yeah.
how different it is.
Yeah,
you know
of
what I
course.
mean? So,
Yeah.
and this is what I'm saying about the interpretation. Sometimes, like Rash was saying, that there's different. There shouldn't be different interpretations.
No, absolutely right.
But there are. There are. Everyone's got these different interpretations, and they'll argue about this and that, and you know, like, and you go, well, how can it be a different interpretation if you're reading the same scripture there?
Well,
you know?
sometimes it's context. Sometimes it's language has changed. So the actual language we use has changed as well. So, I mean, there are a couple of reasons why there would be conflicting, you know, like readings or conflicting versions. But I don't know. Like I said, for me personally, just let people live. Like, I'm a big believer in just letting people live how they want. Right?
Well,
like,
of
I'm a
course.
massive believer in that.
Of course.
I'm not a fan of, like, any kind of, like, you know, censorship or, like, enforcement. I'm very anti-establishment, like politically.
Yeah.
Right? Like, politically,
That's-
I'm very anti-establishment.
Well, we shouldn't have any censorship or anything. Everyone should have their own say. And the problem is over history, there's been plenty of censorship. You know what I mean? And did you hear, like, now, for example, like X or Twitter's been banned in Germany?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's censorship, isn't it?
That's crazy.
That's censorship, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's mental.
So,
Hey, we're not far off here. We might seem far off, but I'll tell you what, man. Like, COVID, that whole period showed me that we're not far off. You know what I mean?
COVID was a weird thing, wasn't it? Was a weird thing. It taught everyone a lot of things
About themselves, about other people, about the world.
about the world more than anything.
And I think what it did as well, I think it kind of gave people too much time to think and too much free time to jump on the internet, I think. And some people just went like
sometimes.
crazy. Hey, it affected me. I went nuts, man. I was and look, I got a lot of fines at home, and my lawyer told me that don't pay a cent, and thank God.
Fines for what?
Oh, because I was out and about.
Yep.
I'll openly say it.
We're still doing the show here every week, man.
I personally did not care, man.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Did you have your needles?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. But
How many?
2.
Me too. Yeah.
But and I'm not gonna lie, I was quite upset about it while I was in the line, but I needed to go overseas. So, and my
I needed
doctor,
my job.
that's and that's the bullshit part of it. Like, they made us kind of, they put us in a position where
That's what I'm upset about.
and that's where, for me, that's when I lost like, I was already like, I didn't really have faith in the system, but I lost complete faith in the system. Believe?
Yeah. No, and that's one reason now, I think I said to you last week, after that, I doubt they went to the moon, because it's like what they did, and then the more I found out later, and even now, it gets me more and more upset about it. Gets me more and more upset about it.
Like, it was fun. I remember being in the line at Coolaroo or Dallas or whatever it was to get the jab, and I was just like, what am I doing? What am I, like, I don't know, it felt unnatural. It felt forced. It was unnatural.
Well, it was forced.
Yeah, but like, it felt forced. Like, you know what I mean? Like you better do it.
So,
and
so what can, then the question is, like, if they did that, what else can they do?
Exactly.
What else?
Well, we showed, we as a community, as a state especially, we showed that if the government wants to bend us over, we'll apply the Vaseline ourselves.
Well,
as a state.
What were
Because
what were we supposed to do, dude?
We should have rebelled.
How?
Oh, mate, if enough people stood up and said,
But you
"Fuck
can't."
it," you can, of course you can.
No, but what I'm saying is, I know you can.
Well, then, you know how we should have rebelled then, if we couldn't?
But
we shouldn't have voted the prick back in.
Well, that's another question. That's another thing.
That's something.
That was the weirdest thing out of all of it. Weirdest thing is they're going to do a statue.
Can I? Yeah. I know. Hey, and you know what? I have sworn, and I will put this on camera. If they build a statue, I will do everything in my power to have that head in my shop, or at the front of my house.
Yeah, that's shit.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I want a bit of coin on that election, because I knew, mate, we live in a hippie state. Victoria is.
How does he get voted back in?
Not only did he get voted back in, he won in a
landslide. How?
Right? Because it was the most predictable thing. The Liberals had the worst opposition leader they've probably ever had. Right? Matthew Guy was one of the most intolerable people, just in general. Right? Bloke had the charisma of a fucking dustpan. Right? Just nothing. And he had no competition. Like, the competition Dan had was
ridiculous.
Was nobody. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
They're still going on about the religious stuff.
They're going on, are they? Like that.
Yeah, now they're starting to read actual bloody passages of the of the Bible, which is quite funny there.
Yeah.
But,
Well, it's funny. He's actually reciting the Old Testament, which Christians don't believe in. We read it, but we follow the teachings of the New Testament. So, yeah.
But you still follow the reading.
You read it. It's part of this.
Well, you do because you've read the Ten Commandments.
I mean, yeah.
So there are certain parts
they haven't changed, but like, I mean, there were so many teachings that contradict the first, the Old Testament.
The Old Testament.
Yeah, because we follow the teachings of Jesus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we follow the Old Testament, then we'd all be Jew. You know what I mean? Like, so
it just there's so many things in because I've read the Bibles. Mm-hmm. I've read them all, so I'm not one that that kind
just
of
hates it and doesn't.
That just I just think like that. No, the reason I kind of became an atheist was because I actually read the Bible and I kept going like I don't get this bit. I don't get it. Like how can it be? Like how can God, like not do anything about slavery? How can that be accepted?
Yeah, but that's man. Like we're left to our own devices.
Yeah, but if God is is so powerful, I mean, he actually puts rules and regulations in there on how to treat your slave. So it's not man, it's God.
Well, somewhat. I
mean, in Exodus 21, he actually says how to treat your slave.
Well, again, it's Old Testament, right?
No, but in the New Testament, there's also in Leviticus and also in 20 and that in the New Testament, they also strengthen that view on how that you can beat your slave and if they don't die within 3 days and how you can pass on your slave and all that. He doesn't come back and say,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, again.
That's why I said to you before, is it everything in the Bible?
Everything that I've read, like, I believe. Yes. So all like, if there's going to be like, little bits here and there, again, I'm not a perfect Christian, so I'm not going to follow everything, right? I'm not going to follow everything. I'm not going to.
Do you ever see like a verse like that and go, what's going on there? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like how do you turn a person into a pillar of salt?
Well, that's a miracle, isn't it? That's faith. That's having faith in the belief, in having faith in the story that's being told.
Yeah.
Right. And that's
the bit I can't grasp.
Yeah. Well, that's religion.
I can't grasp that. I can't grasp certain things that are said in there, and then I'll put my Christian hat on and say, and then what people have said to me is, but some of them are just stories to like their teachings, and some of them are actually like the Word of God. And then my answer I rebut that by saying, then how do you know which one's a story and which one's a thing? So you've got to give me how did you work that out? So that's the only thing. But I didn't want to get back onto that. That was enough, only because these people in here.
Are they still having a crack?
Have you heard of Matt Dillahunty? He is my god, Matt Dillahunty. If you know who he is, I love Matt Dillahunty. He does a show that you wouldn't like at all.
No,
called The Atheist Experience.
Oh, actually, I've seen it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
What happens is people call in and they give their versions, and then he always kind of like thinks. So there's him. But anyway, look. At the end of the day, I don't think we know anything really. We don't know anything for certain. That's the main thing.
That's why I have my faith.
Yeah, I don't like that word.
That's why I have my faith.
I don't like the word.
Hey, you used the word faith earlier this year.
What did I say?
I busted you on one of your potties.
What did I say?
On one of your episodes, you were talking about how you believe in Carlton.
Yeah, but I said I believe in him.
Yeah. No. You mentioned the word faith specifically.
I would have misspoken.
No. And then you explained what faith meant.
And what did I say?
You said is having belief with no logical.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And you said I believe, I have faith in Carlton this season. That's what you said.
Oh yeah.
And I remember. I can't remember what game.
If you use it, no. I think you're right. I said faith is the word you use when you have no evidence.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I said, I think I remember that, and what I said was, I have belief because faith. I do have evidence.
What's your evidence? What was your evidence?
Of Carlton?
Yeah.
No, because I've seen the rebuild. I've seen the players play
Yeah,
well,
all right.
and you know, and like for example, if they're losing every game, you go, man, I've got no belief here. I've got
Yeah,
no
yeah,
faith.
yeah.
But I actually I can see something.
Yeah.
So I have a belief that they're
Yeah.
gonna do it. Are they gonna do it? I don't know. That's the next question. But what I'm saying is, look, faith is it's like the word sin. Sin's a funny word.
Why?
It's only in the Bible.
What do you mean? It's in other things as well. It's in the Quran. Of course it is. It's a sin.
It's only a religious thing,
Yeah.
sin. Yeah. It's only something you do like against God, like against God's will, you know?
Yeah.
So
But that's all right. That's just the definition of it.
yeah, but
it's
it's
not-
not
doesn't
used
make
in
it a
no
weird-
secular word. You
But
don't say I
who
did a
cares?
sin.
But who cares? That just means that word holds a certain definition. Like just because you don't use it in other like aspects of life, or
Yeah.
you know, that's just the definition of it.
But it's only used, it's only sin, it's only something you do against, am I correct to say like
Yeah, against like, the word of God. Or
the
something.
word of God,
Yeah, yeah, but that's the definition of it.
So you,
So why else would you use it?
right, so but if you don't believe in God or there's no proof of God, like the word really is only in there.
That's
yeah.
it. So you don't have to use it.
Yeah. No,
So-
I don't.
Yeah, but this is what I
don't
mean.
use it. And that's why I try not
But
to
why
use
is it? But why is it such an issue then? Like if you don't have to use it, who cares?
No, it's not an issue.
I don't use it. Like
No, it's not an issue. I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
another word.
Yeah.
Like from faith,
Yeah.
sin's another word for me
Yeah.
that I if I use it,
You're a very curious cat, huh?
yeah.
It's good. It's good to be curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
If
good.
I use the words, I might use it, but I don't mean to use it. Like I
Yeah.
try not to use it because.
But why are
I
you trying not to use it?
Because I don't believe in it. Because I don't believe in a God.
Okay.
Right.
So you don't believe in its core definition.
Well, the core definition is the thing. So
Yeah.
how can I use it? How can I say it's a sin what you
Yeah,
did?
yeah.
Like I could say it's wrong what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't say it's.
I mean, you can use it like, you know,
no, I
as a
use it, and
playful.
also
like,
as a faith, I kind of use it. I throw away, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I got faith in it. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And I catch myself and
Yeah.
I go, no, I got belief. You know, I haven't got faith. So I'm a bit stubborn in my head
Yeah,
too
yeah, yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm trying to learn myself, man.
we all are.
I'm trying to learn myself,
Hey.
man.
Who I was 10 years ago is totally different to who I am now, and hopefully who I am 10 years from now
You have to be.
is, you know,
You have to be.
So-
You have to be, or else if you stay the same as you were, man, I'm telling you, there's
no, there's
something
no
wrong.
growth. Absolutely, there's no growth.
There's no 100%. There's no growth. You know what I mean? So look, I'm definitely like a week. My mind's going a million miles an hour every day of every minute of the day, man. I can't even sleep at night. It's going a million miles an
Yeah,
hour.
I'm the same.
Thinking about these things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So and,
For
you know,
me, the things I think about, like, I don't know, I feel safe in my religion, so it's not really something I think about, right? It's not like a topic
you
that,
go to
like, hooks me.
church.
Only when, like,
Like a Wednesday.
only on an event, yeah.
I do the same.
I've tried.
I still go to the
Yeah, yeah.
church. I go
Yeah.
when there's an event. I got to
Yeah.
go. You know.
Like, I've tried to do the Sunday thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't too comfortable with it. When I was a kid, when I was like a young kid, my parents put me in Sunday school when I was like six
I've
or
been to
whatever,
Sunday.
6
I
or
used to go
7.
to Sunday school.
And then first chance we got when I started playing footy under 10s, my dad was like, nah, get him out of Sunday school and let him play footy, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So like I grew up, my parents weren't like, you know, oh, you have to do this, you have to
Yeah.
do that. No. I grew up in a Christian house though, like, you
Yeah.
know, the crosses and the,
Yeah, I'll
you
be
know,
the same.
and all that. But the good
Oh,
thing
look,
is,
I sent my kids to Catholic school and everything.
yeah.
Like,
Were you an atheist when you were doing that?
yes, but so when I was married, like my missus was more of a,
Okay.
and she's not like fully like
Yeah,
she's a
but
bit
she-
like you,
yeah.
but less than you, let's say,
Yeah.
right? So that's gone flat.
Yeah.
She's gone less than you, but she when they're like doing it, I don't care, just
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it. Like it doesn't bother me, like
Yeah.
whatever, you know. But so and then I sent them to Catholic school because it's like it's a good school to go to. Like it's like a semi-private school, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
yeah.
and whereas and then I'll go private school is going to cost me double. Like
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
they're good schools, you know. At the end of the day, the religious part of it. I mean, if you speak to my kids, they can speak to themselves, but
Yeah.
they're on more of the non-believer than they are
Yep.
the believer.
Yep.
But unfortunately, like someone like my missus, my ex, sorry, you're indoctrinated. Unfortunately, or fortunately, you know what I mean. Whichever way you look
Yeah.
at it. So once you're indoctrinated, it's hard to release those beliefs.
Yep.
Because it gets embedded into you, and
Yeah.
it took me a long time.
Yeah. So, which is why I'm very grateful for my parents. They didn't force me anything on me.
Yeah.
Yeah? They didn't force anything on my sisters or anything. So, like, yes, we grew up with the Christian label.
But didn't go to church.
Didn't go to church.
We were the
didn't do
same.
anything,
We were the
right?
same.
It was just honestly for us, for my family, going to the footy was church.
Yeah, that's a religion.
That was man. My dad came from like Lebanon.
Yeah.
Footy was his like.
Yeah.
He was obsessed with footy straight away. Went for Sydney and he went for West Coast. Couldn't tell him you can't go for two sides. He went for two sides.
Oh, he liked it. So Sydney and West Coast.
Sydney
right?
and West Coast, because
Wow.
when he first landed, he landed in Sydney and he thought, "Fucking
Sydney.
go for this team," and he loved the West Coast jumper, right, with
Oh,
the
yeah,
eagle,
fair
right?
enough.
And that was it for him. That was it, and so like
But it is it? Do you believe I believe footy, right? To me,
it's my biggest like.
but it is. It's like I'm going to use this word. Now,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
get offended
No,
by
no,
this
no,
word.
no.
They're cults, right?
It is okay.
So religion is a cult to me.
Yeah.
Right. Now, when I say cult, don't go straight
Loosely,
to
loosely, yeah.
don't go straight to the people who kill
yeah,
themselves
yeah.
and
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But it is a way. So is a footy team.
Yeah.
It's like a little cult, mate.
It is.
Mate, I'm telling you.
I know.
You've got the main person, you know, you go, you believe in what you tell them, we believe in what they say, you go every Sunday there, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you give them money,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
all
yeah.
like a little, like it is,
Yeah.
you know, like.
Paid my membership today.
Yeah, it came out
It
today.
came
I
out,
saw
yeah.
it. It came
Yeah,
out
yeah,
today,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
There you go. There's the
Yeah,
offering.
there's the offering. Exactly.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah. No, like for us, I'm just like I said, really grateful with my parents. It was like, yes, they tried to tell us, you know, Christian things, and like my dad, man, I'd go on benders, right? And the only time my dad would ever get religious with me is if I've been on a bender and I'd come home and he could see this bloke hasn't slept in 3 days, and he'd just sit there and just talk to me about religion. It's
Oh,
like,
would he?
Yeah, and I reckon he was just to cook me even more.
Oh,
you know,
that's
just
funny.
to make me feel bad, like, you know, and I was like, it was in one ear, out the other. Like, I didn't really, you know. And then it was only until I experienced my own things and got a bit older and started reading,
Yeah.
like, you know, and that's when I found my thing. And like one of my sisters now, she goes to church every week. She's 25 years old, just on her own.
Yep.
Just decided this is the life I want to live now. And,
Yeah.
you know, so, yeah, I think it's, I think the way you're parented, I think the way you're raised really affects, you know, how you perceive religion, or how you not how you like. I think it affects how you. Yeah, it does. It affects how you perceive it, right? I think it really does. Because like for me, it was never serious. It was never like it was just whatever, you know. But it was there.
Yep.
But it was there. So eventually, I think I was always going to latch on.
Yeah.
You know. So, but hey, who knows? Maybe if you know I was in China, I'd be
No, you would
something
be.
else. Yeah.
You would be 100%. You would be like that's the kind of thing we say. You know, how lucky are you that you just
Yeah.
fell into the right religion?
How lucky am I that I fell
That you
into
just
the.
fell in the exact one that's 100% correct.
That's
you
it.
know what I mean? So, but
Yeah.
if you were if you were born in somewhere else, you know, you're born in
Yeah.
Thailand, you'd probably be a Buddhist now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and that's the way it is. You know what I mean? But listen, I was brought up religious too and that, but it was in my early when I was young. You know, I started to just like. I started to question it straight
Yeah.
away and started looking into it straight away, you know, and then the more I
Yeah.
looked into it, but it took me years. It took me years and years and years to just go like,
No.
I don't get it. I keep asking questions, and I'll ask questions every day of the week if I have to.
Have you spoken to, like, not just like, I'm not going to say just Christianity, but like, have you spoken to like a priest, a rabbi,
Yep.
and what did you gain from that? Anything at all?
As I said, what I found is, so what happens is when you start like, so first of all, I want to just clear up the word atheist, right? You're an atheist because you don't believe in the other gods. You're an atheist of every other god, right? Atheists come from from the Romans, right? And what happened was anyone that didn't believe in the Catholic religion was an atheist, right? That's where it is. The word atheist is the only thing is the God that you say you believe in, he goes, I disagree. I don't believe in that God. That's all. It's only one question.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what an atheist is. Agnostic is more of a, I'm not sure what's going on. That's briefly. But I have spoken to a lot. I've spoken to a lot of people. I went through, when I started believing, you become like an angry atheist.
Yeah.
Where you start like going, oh, fucking, I knew it was a lie. And then you start getting into a thing where you start like preaching to people.
Yeah.
And you start saying things like how do you put all those people on the boat? You know, how do you put all those animals on the boat? It doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? And then you start doing that. And then I got into more of the calmer over the years where I go, you know, like I'm more respectful now and I want to learn, you know what I mean?
That's growth, yeah.
Yeah, but I have spoken to these people, and this is why I said this before. What I've noticed is when I'm talking to these people, they dig their claws in more. So because you're so embedded into it,
yeah,
it's hard. Like if I challenge your beliefs, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and go, oh yeah, you're right. You're going to dig in more and go, no, this is what I believe, man. Well, like I'm challenging you.
Yeah.
Not now. I'm saying,
I know.
I'm challenging you. I'm going, how does this, what do you mean?
Yeah.
How does this happen?
Yeah.
What, you believe this?
Yeah.
Right? And you're going to go, whoa. Don't fucking challenge me. And that's what happens.
Yeah.
So to actually get into like a genuine conversation like we're having now is rare.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
Because it gets into that because, you know,
it gets
I believe
dark.
this and I believe this and I believe this and I believe this, and you can't, and no one wins. So I have had those conversations, you know what I mean?
Well, you just said that, no one wins.
No.
9 times out of 10 with these conversations, someone's trying to win.
Yes.
And no one ever does.
I think that's with a lot of conversations.
It's like you're not actually conversing, you're challenging.
Right. And this is why I'm trying to get better at these sort of things, and even with these sort of conversations, I'm not coming into a conversation wanting to win.
Let's get a priest on here. Let's try.
I was actually thinking
if anyone knows a priest that would jump on.
I was actually thinking about
you know, any religion. Tell them to jump on.
I think we'll get a Catholic. Let's not.
A Catholic, you reckon?
A Catholic or Christian or
yeah. We'll get someone.
I don't think we should go.
Nah?
The other ones. No, I think
I'd love to get a rabbi on here.
Rabbi? Yeah, rabbis.
I'd love to. Get a few things off my chest. You want to talk about a challenge? Give him a challenge.
No, it'd be good to get it. But again, these conversations become like...
Yeah, it becomes an attack.
You've got to be real careful about that.
I know.
Because I've got my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you've got your thoughts on it. And then, like, again, with the Bible, like, I gave you a few things and you had an answer for them. Mm-hmm. Like, I go, you know, about, like, slavery. And you go, but that's in the first one. There's always an answer. You know what I mean? So, it's hard. They're very hard.
Yeah, it's a tough topic.
It's a hard topic to have, mate.
Here on Unfiltered, we're having the hard conversations. You know, and you guys are going hard in the chat too.
He might pursue Rocco to go back to church. I doubt it. I would have to. You know, ask me. You know, a question people ask me.
Tell me.
They go to me, what would it take for you to believe?
Tell me, what would it take for Rocco to believe?
I don't know. But I know God would know. If there is a God, he would know what it took to believe me. Because I'll give you an example. Like, people go, if you see Jesus, like a big Jesus in the sky, giving you a message, would that believe? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because that could be aliens. That could be that could be some greater technology that we don't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, again, I go to that point, like, I'm not going to instantly go and say, yes, that would make me believe. But I know that if there was a God, he would know what it would take for me to believe. You know what I mean?
You know what makes me believe?
Tell me.
Just
This
the
is
way-
what I mean.
So this is what makes me believe, right?
Yeah.
Just at its everything stripped away.
Just the core.
Just the core. Look at the human body, right? If there was a big bang, right, and we came from evolution and all that, and how have our bodies? How are they so structured so perfectly?
But they're not structured perfectly.
They are.
They're not.
They are though.
But they're not.
Look at our bloodstreams. Just cut a
They're
person
not.
open.
But
You don't
they're not
reckon?
perfect. No. Because
Why?
look at all the mutations, all the diseases, all the things. Would you put
Yeah,
certain...
but is that because of? Is that because?
But if you're saying it's perfect, we wouldn't have any of them. It's not perfect. See, this is the puddle. Have you ever heard of the... You know what's funny? Like, I don't know 100% about evolution, but I've looked into it and that, so I kind of know how it works, you know what I mean? So evolution is we evolve to the environments, you know?
Yeah.
And what happens is, as a species, right, you adapt to that environment or else you die, and then the stronger survive and the weaker die, and then the
Yeah.
stronger keep,
Yeah.
and that's how you evolve, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying, how are we like so perfect, right, to this thing?
We are.
No, you've adapted to your environment.
But by your logic, we haven't, because there's still disease and there's still...
Yeah, and there always will be.
But we've got... Like, just look how the human body works.
Yeah, so what?
Right.
So
Nah,
what?
you
That's
can't say-
evolution.
you can't... Nah, no
Yeah,
way.
You can, because that's evolution.
But that's just throwing...
Like that's that's an argument of...
But that's saying
No.
saying that's evolution is
Yeah.
just as ridiculous
No,
as
it's
me
not,
saying...
because we've got proof of it.
As me saying, it's God that built us this way.
No, because we've got proof of evolution. There is proof, and you might like look at that, but seriously, if you look into it, right, there is thousands of years of fossils. You can see the evolution. You could see it in our DNA. The evolution.
Yeah.
You could see it. There is scientific proof. You can actually go now and study it and go and find that proof. Like, this is not just for scientists.
Yeah.
You can go and find it.
Yeah.
Just as Andy
Yeah.
can go and find this.
Yeah.
But when you say God could have done this, all you've done now, right, is you've just added another mystery to the problem.
No, see, and this is where...
Because what you've done is it's called the God of the gaps. Right? What you've done is there's a
Fill
gap.
the gaps with God.
The God of the gaps. There's a gap in there.
See, I don't think there's a gap.
No, what I'm saying
But
is
like-
there's a gap in your understanding.
Yeah.
So what you've done is you
It's just
put God
filled it
in
with
there.
God. Yeah, I know, and I understand that.
Yeah, that's what you've done. But you've got no...
But that's where my faith is.
Right. So it always comes back to faith.
And that's you know, and that's how...
And that's one thing I can't do.
Yeah.
I can't...
Yeah.
For me personally, I just can't have the
We
faith.
can talk about this for another fucking 4 hours.
It's going on.
It's fucking midnight. It's 10 past
It's
12,
alright.
Rocco.
And the other thing is just quickly...
Rocco's not done.
No, the other thing quickly was that when you say things like... Not you, but anyone.
Yeah.
When people say things like... Oh, but... Like, look at the body. Or look at the trees. Like, I've heard that one there. Look at the trees. Like, how... That's an argument of ignorance. And that's a proper term for it, right? It's an argument of ignorance because you don't understand.
See, but that's... See, I disagree.
No.
Because why... Like... Yeah, I don't know.
But what I'm saying is that it's a proper term.
Yeah.
Right? It's a proper... I'm not being disrespectful.
No,
or anything.
I get that.
It's a proper term.
Yeah.
It's an argument of ignorance, and I can do that too.
Yeah.
Right? So what happens is when you don't understand something or how it works, you say, well, how can that be? It must be that.
Yeah.
That's an argument of ignorance.
Yeah.
What you've done is you've not you don't know about it, and then what you've done is it must be this. If you look into it, you'll know why the body is how it is. Yeah, and you could see the evolution. I mean, you can see it just in some of our features that we've got, you know, like in certain animals, there are still parts, like a whale has still little bones of where it had feet. You could see the evolution growing. So to say that the evolution isn't real is actually... It's not good. It's not good. I mean, even now, the Catholic Church, you know, now the Vatican, the Catholic Church, now agree and believe in evolution.
Well, they can... and they're
So
entitled to.
But what they've done now is that they can't get away from it.
And now they'll try to change the Bible like they did
I
once
don't
before.
think you can never change the Bible. But what they'll do is they'll interpret it differently.
They can change the Bible. They have in the past.
Well,
but that's a topic for.
Yeah,
we'll be here for another
we
4
could go,
days.
we could go. Listen, man, this has been very good, man. I still.
What's going on in the chat? You boys need to start the show an hour earlier if possible.
It looks at it. Well,
I can't. I actually can't.
No, you can't. And the thing
Hey,
was,
you want to talk about belief? You want to talk about blind faith? Shout out my Uncle Sam in the chat. I believe Carlton will win the flag in 2025.
Why? Because we picked up pick 3 now. Who are we going to pick up with pick 3, man?
No. Rocco had too much adult to drink.
Yeah, I did. I didn't really, man. It's fucking beautiful, this stuff, man.
Unfortunately, we can't start at 8 because it's me. I'm the problem. I finish work at 8. So by the time I go home, get changed or get changed at the shop and then come down. Sorry, guys. I know it's a late start, 9 o'clock, but it's out of our hands. What's going on in the chat?
Look, it's good. It's a good conversation by everyone. Everyone's going into like...
Have a good night, Lana. Sorry to hear about...
Seinfeld had a good rabbi.
Awesome.
Yeah, we could get here.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Listen, at the end of the day, that's good. The good thing is that we're different people, but we're the same in some things and we're different in the others.
I mean, it's our differences that make us,
When we started this show, we did say it was going to be the conversation, and we want to sit down and we want to just have a conversation about stuff. And we said nothing was going to be off limits. And to tell you the truth, this conversation was going to happen
eventually.
Because we know our different thoughts. You know what I mean? And I'm sure one day, and we touched on politics. I'm sure one day we'll get into the politics too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this was always going to happen. But look, everyone lives a different way. It's what makes the world. The other thing about religion too, I think it's very important because we're here because of religion. Like it's in our history.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I want to dismiss it completely. Yeah. It's very important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean it's absolutely. Talk about censoring. I mean, the Catholics censored a lot of people over the time.
They love it, mate.
The Spanish Inquisition. I mean, just have a look at that. They used to burn people for thinking differently. I mean, Galileo, he said, what did he say? He said, no. He goes, man, the Earth isn't the center of the universe. It's like the center of our solar system. It's the sun. And the Catholic Church went, no. You can't say that, and you have house arrest from the rest of your life now, and you can't say that anymore. So
that's crazy.
They're the perfect people for. But I think we've got to go. This is the longest one. I hope everyone enjoyed. Now, what I want to do is make sure that so we've got a few things happening.
You do. I know you do.
So this weekend's a big weekend.
Yeah.
What do we got?
You've got the 24-hour stream.
We have got a 24-hour stream. So make sure this Saturday, we start at midday. Get on. I'm sure we'll put out all the details. Brought to you by... what was it? I keep forgetting the name. Workwear Branding. They'll be sponsoring us. Make sure you get on there. We'll be there from Saturday midday to Sunday midday. I'm sure you're going to be coming on.
I'll be coming through. I might come through a couple of times.
I think so. That'll be good. So we got that.
I might pop in late Saturday night.
I think that might be the perfect time to pop in.
Yeah, I might pop in. I might bring a cheeky slab.
Wow.
Or Seba
said he was going to...
He said he was going to down it in 2 hours.
He's going to drink the whole slab in 2 hours. I'm eating a pavlova. Fink's eating about 30 bloody junior burgers, he reckons.
That's crazy.
We could do... We'll be some betting. There'll be all sorts of stuff. So make sure you get onto that. Make sure everyone, what else? Make sure Monday Blues, I mean, you did nothing this week.
No, nothing. We'll be on next Monday, just to wrap up.
Are we going to be on next Tuesday, or is it next Wednesday?
I won't be able to do next Tuesday. It'll be next Wednesday.
All right, so
I'm seeing Travis Scott on Tuesday night.
Yeah, you did.
So if anyone's...
so I think the next 2 weeks are going to be the next 2 weeks are going to be, we got a Wednesday, and then the week after we might have to do it on a Monday. Yeah, right, on a Monday.
I could do it on Monday, yeah.
Yeah, because I leave for Thailand on the Tuesday.
Do ya? I'm good. I'm good for the Monday. How long are you going for?
About 3 weeks or so.
Oh, so that's 3 weeks off then.
Yeah, and then
All right. So the next couple of shows will be on random. So next Wednesday and then the Monday after.
yeah, and then we'll continue on.
Yep.
And then we'll continue on, and that's it. And we'll talk about other stuff. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but thanks for the food.
Anytime, man. Thanks, Mum, for
Thank
making
you
it.
very much, man. That was absolutely superb, man. And I'm keeping the rest of it, so I don't know what
Absolutely.
you are doing.
It's yours, mate.
That's going to be mine.
It's yours.
And that's it. Oh, the record.
Next week.
You want to show it?
Next week. Let's just do it next week.
Or we're going to show it
Because we've got a spiel.
Oh, because you got the whole spiel
There's
for
a
it.
spiel on it. We'll do it next week.
All right, we'll do it next week.
That's all right.
I'm just going to say, man, like, fucking, I listened to Pink Floyd all week this week, man.
Yeah, it's been great.
Enzo's got to get up at 5, but he still watched the whole thing.
Thanks for watching, Enzo.
Nah, thanks everyone, man.
Thanks for everyone tuning in, sticking with us.
No, this is good, man.
been a
I hope
long-
you enjoyed it. Thanks to
long
Rash
show.
for joining.
Absolutely.
Joining
Thanks,
in.
Rash.
Next week we'll have another guest. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll get a priest in.
Mate, if we can.
Hey, man.
If we can.
That'll be a discussion on it.
Can't swear. Can't do nothing.
No. Some of these priests, man,
You reckon?
they're pretty bad. But mate, if we do get a priest,
That'll be quality viewing if we do get
if
a
we
priest.
get a priest, man, it'll be like attacking on me, won't it? It'll be like, this will be full on, man, going for it. I might have to get my own bloody. Might have to get 2 onto 2. Nah. So it's been good. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe, like, share. Make sure you share it.
Make sure you share it.
Yeah. Make
Hit
sure
the
you
like
share
button
it.
on the way out.
Like it, do all that, and and we'll move on and say goodbye, huh? I didn't think I had an ending. No, we haven't got no ending. So
Oh, no ending? I was waiting for you.
no, we got no ending. I forgot to do it. Yeah, I forgot to do the ending. So
That's all right.
we got no ending, so we're just gonna finish it off like that, huh? All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much, my
See you
friend.
next week.
We'll see you next week, and thanks, guys.
Have a
And
good night.
go Blues. Which one's end streaming? This one? All right, let's go. Go Blues! Am I ending?